Yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footy JUDGEMO. This is Rivals Rumble with everyone here. International break sucks. We all know that, but there are a lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, lots of shouts for Mohamed Salah to be the GOAT of the Premier League ahead of Thierry Henry. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about, of course, Declan Rice red card. That is beyond us. Now we're talking about Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. They need to rise. They need to lead this Arsenal team. Two very tough games. The first one is North London Derby against Will's team, Spurs, of course, at the Tottenham Stadium. And a lot of people are actually lately have been saying that Enzo Fernandez, the captain of Chelsea Football Club at the current moment, or the vice captain, needs to be dropped, needs to be benched. Will Enzo Maresca have the guts, have the balls, have the chest to actually drop the 100+ million euros or million pound player? We'll know, we'll see. But listen, I'm here with the whole people. And of course, the main topic, of course, is always Manchester United. Erik ten Hag is backed. But there are news about them bringing Thomas Tuchel. But Omar Barada this morning said that they are backing the manager. I think these guys are smoking there. We'll talk about that as well. But first, we need to start by, if you are watching this now, hit that like button. And if you're watching this on the replay, before you go on and enjoy the show, hit that like button, people. It is very, very important that we get the likes up in this horrific international break, that there is no reason for it. The algorithms are not our friends. So the like button actually helps the channel a lot, helps the channel reach new people, and helps the channel actually get to the audience. So hit that like button, people. Let me know in the comments, of course. We'll try to get the comments up. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, of course. How's everyone doing first? And also, we're joined by Jay for the first time on Rivals Rumble. Arsenal fan, as you can see, of course. Jay is Arsenal fan. And Mike Das is here, back in his man Salah. Of course, Mike Das is his second time on Rivals Rumble. Of course. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Ahmed,
Doing good,
Will,
man. Doing
and
good.
Ahmed always here. Where do we start? This is it. Where do we start? We have to start with iNEOS back in Ten Hag.
We can start there. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Yeah, so
Where is
you're the Man
where-
United fan. So
Forget. No, I don't. Ahmed doesn't rate Ten Hag.
Scoreline dead on that game, by the way.
Yes. I actually want to understand one thing. I want to know, not Ahmed. I've spoken with Ahmed a lot. I'll leave Ahmed a little bit. What do you guys think? No, because I know what you're going to say, to be honest. And I know what you're going to say. But I want to know from the other people, that iNEOS, the people that said iNEOS is this, iNEOS is that. I'm going to start with Ahmed at Chelsea. Your owners are under a lot of pressure, right? iNEOS now, and a lot of people said that I would rather be iNEOS than Todd Bowley and Winsteny and these guys.
Yeah.
And they're back in Ten Hag. So what do you think?
I don't know, man. You know, I think they're kind of in like a situation where, if you guys remember, in the summer they were looking for another manager, right? They literally point blank were looking for another manager to bring into the club. It seems they couldn't agree with any manager, or maybe they got some of them rejected them, some of them they couldn't agree on whatever it was, and they basically got stuck with Ten Hag. So I don't know, if you sack him right now, can you bring in another manager for him? Because you've already been rejected by some of them. Some of the guys that you may have wanted are in a job right now. Some of them have already said no to you already. So you're kind of in a catch-22 where you can't bring in maybe the manager you want because you couldn't agree with him in the summer, and they may not be available for you. But you also have this guy who, you know, you've backed with a lot of money now as well. So, you know, I think for me personally, man, I don't know. I think maybe this is like, you know, they've got experienced guys like Barada apparently, and the guy from Newcastle who used to be a former Brighton guy. And like, I don't know, man, it seems slightly incompetent, bro. I have to be honest, bro, slightly incompetent. Because I'm pretty sure everyone here on the panel could have told you that this season would have gone the same way that it has already for them.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I want to go
Listen,
last.
wait, this is an open floor.
Oh, you want you? Well, listen. If you want to go last, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that iNEOS' statement was prior to the Liverpool game. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard. But regardless, I think that United have kind of made their bed. I think it's too little, too late. If there was a time to sack him, it would have been last season. It would have been after your record-breaking poor season, even though you still somehow managed to finish in a Europa League spot. At the end of the day, I mean, what'd you guys end up with? Like an even goal difference, if not negative?
-1.
And you're already in the negative now. In terms of your style of play, I can't really make sense of it. You're playing Casemiro as a lone six, even though that's never been his thing. You're asking Kobe Mainu to play as all three midfielders at the same time in a game, which doesn't make any sense because the kid's, 19, 20 years old. You're relying on a counter-attacking style of play, but every time you score a counter-attacking goal, you're offside. It doesn't make any sense to me. But the problem is that it's too far gone. Like, you had all of the symptoms last year. You could have addressed the problem. You've now allowed it to spread throughout your entire club. If you sack him now, you're going to be in the same position because someone else is going to have to come in and literally start from the ground up using all of Ten Hag's players. You've spent all of this money. What is it, like 700 million, 800 million that you guys have spent in the last few windows under this guy? So, you know, it's, to me, it's as simple as you've made your bed. Now you have to sleep in it, and you have to sleep in it until the summer. And if the summer changes anything, well, then you'll have to have a wholesale fire sale on all these guys, get rid of Rashford, get rid of Antony, get rid of, you know, pretty much everyone that you bought. You'll have to bring in a new manager, and you'll be stuck at the same spot. So to me, it's like, it's a lose-lose no matter what you do, unless somehow Ten Hag can miraculously change everything on a dime. But I just don't think that's going to happen because I don't rate him as a manager.
Disagree with you completely. Ange Postecoglou,
That's okay.
With a dead squad. I'm going to explain why. Ange Postecoglou with a dead squad, 5 games in, playing style of play. You agree or disagree with it. They came fifth, very close to being fourth, had lots of injuries, didn't have a massive preseason with the guys, and you can tell, and didn't change a lot in the team. They only brought Madison, Van de Ven. Nobody knew who Van de Ven is until they got him. Udogie, a youngster, style of play. Pedro Porro was dead before that. He revived Pedro Porro. So for me, that is not true. Glasner at Crystal Palace, a style of play right away. You can see a style of play. And don't tell me that all the Man United players are dead. They aren't dead. They aren't that bad. You can get a manager that will get a tune out of them. This thing that, oh my God, they have to sell all the players. No, they don't. Lisandro Martinez is good. Dallo is good. De Ligt is not bad. He played top clubs. Kobe Mainoo is good. Bruno Fernandes plays well for Portugal, right? There is Amad Diallo. There is Xerxes. There is Rasmus Højlund. They aren't that bad. They aren't that bad. Like, the players aren't horrific. You know what I mean?
Of course not. But they're not. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, my point is, maybe what you're saying, they have to sell some players.
Can I just talk this guy Jack Main on you? He's talking about structure. I swear to God, yeah. If I hear structure one more time, yeah, I'm gonna lose my shit, yeah, because that word, yeah, is the most structure is the most overrated thing in football. Wallahi, it's overrated, yeah. The guy's got new structure in iNEOS and he's still shit. What are you talking about? New structure? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, this makes no sense. The lack of structure isn't the reason, yeah, why we're not doing well. The reason why we're not doing well on the pitch is because of the manager. Because everyone said to me, yeah, and I took a lot of shit from United fans. They were telling me, oh, wait until he has iNEOS, wait until he has his own structure, wait until he has his back line, yeah. The guy literally got his back line and the same issues are happening. So miss me with this whole structure talk here. It's all nonsense. You're looking at De Zerbi right now for Marseille, who's still doing his football when he was at Brighton. So there's no Brighton structure at Marseille. It's De Zerbi, it's the coach. So I want to just debunk that, yeah, because that's nonsense. But yeah.
But you had one that was hyping up structure though, Ahmed.
Everyone that, just give me a second. Just give me a second.
You were the one that was hyping up structure though.
Guys, give me a second. Everyone that joined from HUSAM stream and saying Forza Juve, at least the least you fucking can do instead of fucking spamming in the chat is just hit that like button. Okay? Just at least. If I don't see fucking 100 likes right now, what the fuck are you doing? You're spamming the freaking thing for no reason? Just hit the like button. And instead of like typing, copying, and pasting, like the video then. Give me to 200 likes and then you can spam the chat with whatever the shit you want. Just hit the like button first. Forza shit. Wallahi, none of you even know what Forza mean. You just copy paste. You don't even know what Forza mean.
Let's go, man. Go. Let's go, man.
The people in the chat just copy and paste. Oh my God. Anyway, hit the like button then, people. Talking about Man United.
Yeah. Bro, that's what I said. Like, I'm not trying to hear like structure. Yeah.
But Ahmed, you were the one that was hyping up structure, though. You know, when
No.
You're saying this. You know, you were the one that was saying, Ahmed. That's
no. But what I'm saying is, what I've kept consistent. Yeah, what I've kept consistent is that I bigged up their transfers in terms of like I rated their signings, but never did I say that Ten Hag is going to be a good coach. I was still pessimistic about the season. I've done shows with you. I've done shows with everyone. I kept my opinion consistent. You can still credit their signings, yeah, but still like criticize the manager. Like, for me, at the end of the day, yeah, I just personally think that when it comes to like when they're saying that, oh, we're going to keep him, yeah, like it was prior to the Liverpool game, and there's reports coming out as well saying that the decision was done prior to Ashworth and Berardo coming in from the Athletic. So someone in the iNEOS group has made a decision before their arrival. So God knows who it is. I don't know if it's Brailsford. I don't know if it's
so there's a fault in your structure already, basically, is what you're saying.
There's someone in the structure, yeah. There's clearly a misunderstanding from people in the inside, bro. I'm telling you. So yeah, like there's a huge conflict there. Like, I don't think they were on the page, because there were some people that were pushing for Ten Hag in. There were some people that were hesitant. So clearly, like, it is what it is, bro. Like,
damn. So the structure's not structured.
I think this is what Man United fans like talk about all the time. Structure. We got the structure, bro. We got the structure, bro.
Remember, we have
the best structure.
I just want to clarify one thing about my point. when I was saying that the players aren't good enough, I'm not talking about competing at the top 4 level. If I was a United fan, my objective as a United fan should be I want to be competing for the Premier League title year in, year out. I'm Manchester United, right? From what I see on the pitch, I don't see enough players in that squad that are of the quality to compete for the title year in and year out. Marcus Rashford has no confidence. Every time he went to take on Konate, he turned around and he passed it backwards. He doesn't have I don't even think he has a registered shot attempt in the Premier League through 3 games. I haven't seen it from Højlund, and Xerxes is far too new. I haven't seen it from Garnacho. I think Bruno Fernandez is a mess in that midfield. He loves to just ping bazookas. And I said it 2 summers ago. I don't like Bruno and I don't like Rashford in this team, and I still haven't. I think that their back line is decently solid, but Onana has the worst positioning that I've ever seen in the history of the Premier League. That goal that Salah scored, Onana is hugging the right post. Like that was a terrible finish from Mo. It wasn't even in the corner. It was 3 feet to the left of the right post. Wasn't even a good finish. I do think that Losandro and De Ligt and Delo, those guys are decent players, and obviously Kobe Mainoo is a fantastic midfielder. He's super young, but I just don't see the quality to compete for the Premier League in this squad. So whoever comes in is going to have to get rid of players to compete for the Premier League title. Mo, I'm talking about the title, being a title race.
Why do Man United have to be in a title race now?
Well,
you are speaking as they are entitled to be in a title race. Were Liverpool entitled to be in a title race? Why do people speak? Because this is big Man United. Ahmed, when was the last time you actually competed for the title? You're muted.
Bro, the last time we competed for a title, I haven't got a Scooby, bro. I can't remember. Can't remember the last time.
2000, I think the last time.
Ole? When you guys came in second?
Maybe Ole when he came second.
We didn't compete. We didn't compete.
That wasn't competing. They weren't competing for the title, bro.
We came second
under close.
We came second under Jose and we missed by 20 points. That's not competing, bro. The last time
basically Fergie then. Is it Fergie then?
It's Fergie.
The last time Manchester United, 2012 is the last time Man United competed for the title. In 2013, did they compete? Oh no, that was Man City. Wasn't that Manchester City? The City title in 2013. So that was the last. So why do Man United have to challenge for the Premier League? What, based on what?
Yeah, but in the same breath though, when Arteta come and he spent around 400-500 million, just like Ten Hag spent, that's when everyone started saying, "Oh, Arteta spend that much, he's got to win something now. He's got a challenge." All of a sudden, now that my man's spending over there, no one's saying he's got a challenge.
No, I disagree. No, that didn't happen until he actually challenged. When you got
Arteta,
yes, when you got fifth, the argument for everyone was Arteta has to get Champions League football now. No one's told Arteta after his second season, go challenge for the title. No one. There is not
this ain't his second season, is it? Ain't this his third season?
Third season. It was a third season. So
nobody expected Arteta to challenge in his third season.
After the second season, when he came fifth, when you missed to top 4 against Spurs, against Conte, no one actually told Arsenal, you have to go and compete now, because that was not realistic. And no one expected Arsenal to challenge. You challenged out of nowhere, and that's credit to Arteta and the team, right? That's credit to them. But no one told him to challenge. Who said Arsenal have the right to challenge for the title? Now you hold on. Now you challenge first year, and you were 7 points ahead of Manchester City. The expectations were, oh, now you have to go and win it. That is the expectations. Does that make sense? But nobody said that because of the money. Erik Ten Hag is an absolute fraud. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't think he knows how to coach. So nobody's expecting Man United. I'm not even expecting Man United to be top 5.
Even you don't think Man U's going to get top 5?
Top 6, bro. Man United get 7th. If they keep Ten Hag, they're going to get 7th or 8th.
Man U, I think Man U are going to get top 4.
Well, on FIFA? Maybe on FIFA, not in real life.
FM.
No, honestly.
Top 4.
I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling. But even
after what you saw, even after you saw the first 3 games.
Yes. Even from the Liverpool.
So who are they? Before you go on, Jay, Who are they better than? Like, just give me a breakdown. You believe that Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City are better. Let's just go away from that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's gonna be top 3, right?
So who are they? So you think they are better? Let me just go. You think they're better than Villa?
Yeah, when Odegaard comes in and the Lit's fully fit, yeah, definitely.
You think they're better than Spurs?
100%.
You
Who
think they're
ain't better than
Newcastle?
Spurs?
You think they're better than Newcastle?
Yeah.
What about
Honestly, I just feel, pardon? Chelsea, them, listen, don't worry about Chelsea. Their whole team is made up with star players that are just injury prone. They're about to break down in a couple weeks. Don't worry about Chelsea. No one's got to worry about them. Nkunku, injury prone. Pedro, injury prone. Reece James, injury prone.
Can I just say something? Because I'm a United fan.
Hold on. I actually want to deep this. I'm going to go, forget Chelsea now. We're going to come to Spurs. How do you think Man United are better than Spurs? I'm sorry. Like, based on what? Players?
It's
manager? Like, what is it? How?
He's trolling.
But no, I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling.
He's not trolling. That's the reality.
I promise you, I'm not trolling.
Newcastle's better than Arsenal. That's literally what you just said. Newcastle's better than Arsenal.
Hold on. For me, it's the Tottenham manager is just like, who's that Leeds manager, that Balas, the old one?
Bielsa, you mean? Bielsa.
Yes.
Who the hell's Bielsa? Who's Bielsa?
Whatever his name is.
That's
the new Tottenham manager. He's just attacking. He's got no idea. That won't last.
When did Bielsa ever get 5th place in the league?
But you've obviously got better players, isn't it? So it adds up. But yeah, he's just a new Bielsa, man. Whatever his name is. That's it.
I mean,
Literally.
I don't feel like there's like a good enough logic to it. Like, even if I was to circumvent the Spurs ones for one moment, the Chelsea one, for example, you can make the same argument for United. United have quite a few injury prone players. Spurs have quite a few injury prone players. So what are we saying? Everyone's injury prone? Like,
no, but I mean, most of your team is injury prone, bro.
Last season, barring Nkunku, Reece James, yeah, our squad was pretty much whole. There was only like, I think, and Labia, those three, pretty much. Those three. But the rest of the squad was still there playing consistent football. So I don't think
but I'm saying
Reece James. You want to list all the players? That's four. But that's four now.
Hold on, Fofana.
Please, one at a time.
Fofana happened before the season even started, so that's why I'm not counting him. I didn't count him.
What do you mean? He got injured during the season.
No, he didn't. He got injured. He actually had
as he come. Yeah. When he come, he was injured already. Yeah.
It was preseason. That happened way before even preseason started. Yeah, it's first week of preseason. He had his ACL. So at the end of the day, I don't think the injuries thing is going to be that much of a big thing for us personally. But I think with United, it's just right now. I think it's just a lack of quality. You know what I mean? That's the issue they have. It's just a lack of quality right now in the squad. That's like,
they have a bunch of overrated players.
Exactly. Just a lack of quality.
But for me, no one's even good. It's 3 games in and everyone's like, oh, panic. They ain't even like, let them play a bit before everyone starts panicking for me. Like,
they played for 2 seasons.
But this is the same football they've been playing for the last 2 seasons, bro. This is the same football they've been playing for the last 2 seasons.
Yes, I know. The football wise, I get it. But for me, I'm not really gonna go off of Man U until I see everyone in that team. And for me, Zerkzee was getting in positions. If you're getting in positions, you should score. Fair enough, he scored.
Brendan Johnson's getting into positions. It doesn't mean he's not a bad player.
Hey,
we've seen Brendan Johnson over, like, he's been trash. Everyone knows this. Zerkzee missed couple chances on the weekend, and everyone, donkey, like, come on, allow it. It's crazy.
Listen, with Zerkzee, I agree with you.
Zerkzee's a good player.
We'll give Zerkzee the time he needs. Yeah, I'm not even gonna hate on Zerkzee, right? But like Rashford, for example, been here for a decade now. We can't give him a buy. We can't give a guy like Bruno Fernandez, who's just been given a 300k a week contract again, a buy. Yeah, we can't give a guy like I would say Garnacho. He's the one that's starting. He was there last season. He was one of their best players, arguably. Should we be giving him a buy too?
Martinez, for example, in defense.
Lisandro Martinez, bro. I don't know what, bro. It's looking.
That's why he doesn't start regularly for Argentina. I'm telling you, he is more overrated in the
Ahmed,
Premier
bro,
League than
Lisandro-
any player I've
Lisandro
ever seen,
Ahmed,
dude.
yeah, I can't lie to you, man. There might be conversation need to be had on Lisandro soon, bro. You know, it's not
I
looking
get
good for
it.
him.
I get it. But when you look at the Tottenham team, there's so many more stinkers in there.
No, there's
There's
not.
so
What?
many
What
more.
are you talking about? How is that even
Bro, I don't
possible?
think there is that
Bro,
much. I'll be honest.
Bro, you got the left back that everyone was proclaiming, oh, he's the best left back in the league after like 6 months of playing in the league. Like it's crazy.
Hold on.
No one gives
Yes,
no
go
one
ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
Like let's stop this.
I've already
Everyone
said it,
just-
Dogie.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you respond, but I wanna respond to this left back. Go ahead, Jay. So he played a whole year. He was good, but you wanna rubbish him in the first 3 games? How is that?
No, I'm not rubbishing him, but I'm saying a year in the Premier League makes you the best in the league. That is crazy
No,
to me.
Forget the best in the league. Forget the best in the league. Maybe that's over the top. But
that's
are
what
you saying
everyone
he's
was
a bad
saying.
player? Are you saying he's a bad
Not
player?
me.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying I
Okay.
like Shindongi,
No.
but I'm just saying-
Jay,
You said he's
started with-
trash.
You
No,
said
no, my
stinkers.
bad.
You said
I'm
there's
just
way more
no.
stinkers.
Okay. I was going
started
off.
with your doggy,
Hold on.
bro.
No, I hear you. But I was going off of like
Go
that
back
was
again.
one of the players. That
Do you think
everyone's
Romero's bad? Do you think Romero's bad?
He needs to get in the bin.
Wait,
He's
but I don't
trash.
understand. I don't.
Insanity.
What
wait,
the
wait.
actual
He's
no, hold on.
Insanity.
No. This is okay. What do you mean get in the bin? I don't understand.
He's
What
done. He's
Like he's
everyone.
a bad-
Done.
He's bad.
bad-
Very
he's
bad.
Literally been
very
the best
bad.
center back this season.
Pardon?
He has been
Dio.
the best center back
And we
this
played
season.
three. We
Three
played
games.
3
He was
games.
one of the top
Please
5
save your
center backs in
guy,
the
Jay.
league last
We
season.
we played
Save your
3
guy,
games.
Jay.
Pardon?
He's literally won a World Cup
Guys,
and
gonna
2
back
Copa
him. You
America.
should be
Wait,
saying this to him, bro.
What are you talking about? Needs to
But
get
weren't-
into the bin.
Hold on. Weren't Martinez the one that was starting in the World
Martinez,
Cup?
no. Romero. Martinez is on the
Oh
bench.
no. And then Morero.
It was Otamendi and Romero
What are you
the whole
talking about?
time.
Yeah, but come on, man. What? So if you win a World Cup, that means you're what? No,
No,
I'm not.
Not in a
Bro,
World
bro,
Cup, won 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup, and was
Okay.
actually quoted as being the player of the tournament defensively.
Oh,
Why are we talking about
it's-
Romero? I'm confused. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even lie, we can't even hear
He's
Romero here.
He's
I feel
literally
like-
one of the top 5 center backs in the league. It's insanity.
Wait,
I'm
hold-
gonna tell you how this-
what's this got to do with?
Ahmed, I'm gonna tell you. He said Man United are better than Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Spurs.
I just
Okay.
feel like they're gonna finish above them. That's all.
Yeah, but what's that based
my
on? though? 'Cause,
opinion.
Like, what's that based on?
No,
It's my
he is
opinion.
basing it on your dog is shit. Romero's in the bin. Van de Ven.
No. Don't do that. We ain't doing that. Don't put that. I was just saying the overhype of
Okay, so
Ndogi.
you're-
Don't-
okay.
Yeah. We're not
Okay.
doing that.
What about Van de Ven?
Nah, I like Van der Ven. He's good.
Pedro Porro.
He's just another one. He looks good attacking, but the defending it. It's a bit
Vicario.
needy.
Not good. Good
No,
running, huh? No.
no,
Besuma. No.
no. Big.
Madison.
Yeah, I rate Madison.
Son. Solanke.
He's done now. Solanke, he's had one good season in his whole career. Get in the bin, man. Stop it. He's trash. How much you spend on him?
Anyway,
How much do I spend on Solanke?
I'm losing track, bro. I can't lie.
65,
I don't know what's going on, bro.
That's crazy.
Nketiah?
I'm losing track.
He's gone. Why are you talking about players that are not there? That's crazy.
Bro,
I'm
this-
just asking if he thought that he was if he sucked. He was horrible. Gabriel Jesus?
We're talking about Tottenham here. Why are we going to Arsenal?
Because your
Listen,
opinion of
guys,
players
guys.
is
If you can actually
completely
keep it-
based off
You
no factual thing whatsoever.
Bro, he's getting you guys to buy it, bro. He's getting you guys to buy it. I know what.
He said he's not
my
trolling.
God.
I haven't said if he was
Ahmed
trolling.
said he
He
knows
said
his
he's
game,
not
yeah.
I know,
trolling.
Ahmed
bro.
knows his
Listen.
game.
You can't do what I
Yeah.
do, by the way. No one can do that, innit?
Wait,
So
wait.
I know what you're
do you
doing.
mean? What do you mean? Wait. What do you mean I can't
Bro,
do
every
what
time
do?
you make a point, you're literally smiling. You can't keep
No,
a straight face.
I'm a happy guy. What do you mean I can't do what you do?
No,
you want me to
he's
be serious?
he thinks you're trolling.
I'm not trolling, but do you want me to be serious?
You are serious. I know he is serious,
No,
guys.
I am, but because I'm smiling, does that mean my opinion don't count? Like
It
I'm
doesn't
a happy
count,
guy.
bro. No, what I mean, no, Ahmed thinks that you're trolling Man United fans.
No, I feel like, oh my, all right, maybe I'm trolling. Let's just leave it there because let him say.
No,
his
I want you
things.
to
I'm trolling.
dissect it. I want you to dissect
I'm
it.
not
Because
gonna
Ahmed is
dissect
a
it.
Man,
I'm a
Jay,
United
Ahmed
fan, so
is
what's-
a Man United fan. He's a Man United fan.
I want you
we'll
to
cut-
dissect, yeah.
Yeah,
but
I
the
hear
team-
you. I said it. I just feel like
So,
everyone's
can
reactionary.
can I say something real quick,
Like,
Ahmed?
Casemiro
Ahmed,
just
can I
threw the
can I say
game
something real
away.
quick, Ahmed? The way you would scrutinize your team because of what you want your team to be, and how a rival will look at your team and rate your players will be very different. When rivals begin to say your players are crap, your players are, sometimes they really mean it, but most times they're looking at your good players and just trying to shit on them through the eyes of of banter, basically. So the truth is, if you're going to think that he's going to explain something to you and you're going to accept it, you're not, because you have a different perspective. It's your team and the way you want them to be. So there's a big difference in how we see them. I
That's
rate
why
some
I'm
of
asking him
hold
to
on. So,
dissect.
so for example, I rate some of the players that you have vis-a-vis the players that in other teams. I think that talent-wise and technicality-wise, they are there. Now you can talk about your manager, and maybe your manager can put a system together that'll make them work. That's a different conversation. But if you just look at the players, player for player, yes, Martinez has stinkers, but Martinez is a good defender. He's not a horrible defender all season long, barring his injuries. Kobe Mainu had one mistake that cost the goal. Does that make him a bad player? No, that's a talent.
That
Players
wasn't
will have
even his
their-
mistake.
I know. No, I'm even just saying. Let's even just put it. Let's even just say we want to put something on each player. Players have their good and bad days. They're off and on days. My thing is, you guys have players that can get the job done. Zerkzee, we can see what he can do. We've seen a couple of things that he showed. I think once Man U gets the team together, there'll also be a force to reckon with
Okay,
this
let me
season. That's all I'm saying.
dissect it.
So
Let
you might not accept it because you
Okay.
are a little more critical being a Man U fan. That's
I just told him. I just asked him.
Yeah,
a simple
Dyer
question.
he added to the fire, man. Dyer just added to the
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. But like I said, yeah.
No,
Like
no,
I
no,
said,
Ahmed, before you come in, I want to just dive. You think Man United are better than Spurs, Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea? Just simple. Without No, any
no,
explanation.
no.
I don't. I like I
Okay,
said. I
okay,
said.
so
I
you
think
disagree.
I said Man United for me. If they can get their player, get the team up and running, I think they can actually be on par with that. Because for me, the difference between top four and fourth to eighth this season is going to between fourth and eighth is going to be like 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, 2.1. Like that's what it's going to be with the level of what we have this season. So yeah, if they get themselves up and running, they will be up there challenging for it.
Okay,
Okay,
shall I
Ahmed,
actually
go
give you
ahead.
the? I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, the first season under Ten Hag, yeah, was most of it, yeah, was papered over the cracks throughout Rashford's ridiculous form, yeah, when he was fighting for when he wanted the contract. That whole season, yeah, Rashford was just cooking in it that season. The season after that, we have our worst season in the Premier League, right? And he spent a lot of money as well. We said second season or injuries. We ran with the excuse with injuries when we have other teams in the Premier League and abroad who face the same issue, but they're able to adapt. You've just seen Hansi Flick at Barcelona, his fourth game in a row. He's won 4 in a row and just slapped the team 7-0 with a bunch of La Masia players on the bench. Do not talk to me about he needs this, this, and that. So second season, let's just talk about, okay, injuries. It was masked by an FA Cup. Now we're going to the third season. iNEOS. They've backed the manager. They sold the players he didn't want. He got rid of Sancho. We got rid of this player. He got rid of Wan-Bissaka. He got rid of McTominay. He got rid of all of those guys there. He's brought in Delit, Mazraoui. He's built a team, yeah, of players that he used to coach back in the day. He's either coached or scouted or wanted in the past or managed. Now he's built it all together at Man United. We're still seeing the same issues. The guy brought Andre Onana from Inter, a ball-playing goalkeeper, and we're playing him with long ball. We're doing longer ball with Onana, who's a ball-playing goalkeeper. We're conceding the most shots, yeah? We conceded the most shots last season when Onana isn't... Bro, you've seen Onana. He's not a ridiculous shot stopper. He's known for his kicking. Do you get what I'm saying?
Ahmed, that's what we're saying. You're having two different conversations here. We're talking about just your players. You have a very decent squad. No, listen, you have a decent squad with a trash manager, is what we're saying. Now, if you want to talk about the manager can make the players look even worse. But I'm saying if you have a good manager, what United has as a squad, right? The players that you have are players that we know have some sort of talent and a level of playing, at least in this Premier League. So I'm saying your manager, for sure, I agree with you. Ten Hag is not the answer. But we're talking player for player. Like, if you had the right manager, do you think that your team would be competing?
Not straight away, but we'll start playing good football and then we can go from there.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I said.
We can go from there. The thing is with me, yeah, honestly, bro, people think that I complain 24/7. You know, all I want from my club, yeah, is just to play good football. Get me playing good football, and then the rest will come with due time. if we like, that's all I want. Get me playing good football, and then we'll see what happens here. Because if we can still like win a trophy here and there in our worst moments, yeah, if we actually like concentrated a little bit, yeah, with getting the right manager and doing things in the right step and have a bit of ruthlessness here, because these guys, iNEOS, as much as they've bought him the players, yeah, I want to see a ruthlessness from them. Do you get it this season? So we do have some decent players. But if Kobe is losing the ball, Casemiro is losing the ball, Lissandro's position is all over the place here. You can't just say, oh, these guys are just shit. Like, you have to look at the bigger picture. Like, Kobe Mainoo is a 19-year-old. We all know who's good on the ball. But, bro, he got cooked for that third goal. He got literally bodied and he lost the ball. Casemiro did lose the ball. But if both of them are losing the ball at the same time, then clearly you have to look at the bigger picture and see, all right, you know what? Even the journalist, I remember the journalist was cooking Ten Hag. He was like, we won 2 trophies. Like, that's all he does now. He just talks about the trophies. He's not talking about like how we're playing in the league. Talk about the league position. I always say it. Your bread and butter is the Premier League. Your bread and butter is the Prem. So if we can't progress, then I don't see what else to do, bro. Like, I don't know how many. I know we bought Odegaard, but what's he gonna do in this midfield? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Like,
I genuinely now. Go ahead,
Will.
Will.
I don't know what they're saying on TV in the UK when you guys watch matches, but here in the US, the announcers were cooking Casemiro.
Yeah, but that's not. But that's besides the point.
It wasn't only his point.
We subbed off Casemiro. We brought in Collier. We can see we played even worse. We went even worse. Will
worse, bro.
Liverpool, bro. We brought in a Collier, some random youth player. Yeah, he lost the ball. Liverpool. The only reason why they scored 1 goal in the second half is because they were pissing about. They didn't want to score. They could have scored.
They were playing rondos at the Man United half. Rondos at Man United.
Exactly.
Do you know, Will, there is a couple of pictures that were running around Twitter. Kobe Mainoo received the ball. The closest midfielder to him is 50 yards away.
Yeah.
Collier is in close to Liverpool and Bruno Fernandez. No, and all the center backs are watching him getting cooked. No one is running to make an angle or anything. No one wants the ball, bro.
And Will, I'll be honest here. You can't. Casemiro is not a player that's gonna receive the ball in pressure and like.
Isn't that your job as a defensive midfielder? Hold on a second.
That's never been his game.
No. He was never been his game.
That's never been his game. He's
so for a team that's trying to play out the bag, why is he your outlet?
He shouldn't be, but that's Ten Hag's fault. At Real Madrid, he was never the outlet. He was the guy. Get the ball, pass it 5 yards to Toni Kroos or Modric. Job done.
Kroos was the one dictating the game, bro. And
yes, it wasn't him. Now Erik Ten Hag is asking him to do this job. It's not his job.
Because that's who they need to play. They don't have a DM.
No, but bro, even if we've got a ball playing DM, there's still going to be issues. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, it's bigger than.
And defensively, they look horrific, bro. The positioning of all the players is atrocious, bro. Everyone is out of position, bro. There are 30 yards. They have some compactness about them.
I'm not saying Ten Hag is a good manager. It's not what I'm saying.
He's horrendous, bro.
I'm just saying that regardless of the manager, right, systems do play an important role in the game. But at the end, there's going to be quality. And if you're a player, if you're a professional player, you know what you should be doing. What the manager's not on the pitch with you.
No, but
you should still be playing the game in a way that allows you to play the best that you can play.
Casemiro, okay, let me break it down for you, Will. If Casemiro was the only guy that was making consistent mistakes and we were playing good football and everyone else was fine, I will agree with you. But because everyone else is doing the same mistakes, then it's bigger than just who we have in the team. That's what I'm trying to say to you. The problem is honestly, bro, I've seen Casemiro play perfect. Against Fulham, he was very good. He was actually good. He played well, could have had 2 assists. Bruno should have buried it. But against Brighton, he was okay. One stinker he had against Liverpool, he was shit. I understand that. But no, he had 2 goals. That's fine. He didn't play well. He was awful. I'm saying, bro, I love Casemiro, but he was rubbish. But what I'm saying to you is that the second half didn't change anything. It didn't change anything. It didn't change. So what like we can sell Casemiro to Saudi. Let's bring in Ugarte, and then we'll see whether it's changed or not. Because I can guarantee you,
I don't think it's gonna change. It's not
exactly.
Gonna change. The problem is gonna be Ten Hag. It's always gonna be Ten Hag. The setup is bad. The second half proves it. He subbed the guy out and still it looked exactly the same.
What happened to Amrabat?
Did you see that moment, by the way? Did you see that moment?
Amrabat, they didn't redeem Amrabat.
They didn't get
He's at Fenerbahce now, if I'm not mistaken.
He was playing.
They didn't redeem Amrabat.
Yeah, they won't get Amrabat. But did you lot see in the game, by the way? I don't know if you lot remember, but you know when Ahmad came on and then he tried to play a 1-2 with Bruno and Bruno just boots it? Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah,
What
he
is,
bazookaed it.
what
This
is it
guy
with United
was-
players, yeah, and when they get
By the way,
big
sometimes Bruno
contracts,
Fernandez
just
gets
crash out.
away with murder on the
Bruno
pitch.
got, you know, Bruno was just as
He
bad
got
as
away with
Casemiro, if not
murder.
worse.
Is this guy? Yeah, he got away. Many times they had the counter attack,
And he messed it
would
up.
make the pass right to the feet of
Yep.
Konate 2 times in a row, and people
Yep.
don't talk about it.
He even gave the ball away to, he tried to pass it to Xerxes and Van Dijk intercepted him. That's the 3rd time he was doing it this
Bruno
game.
is literally a quarterback, man. I swear to God.
Bro, he
that
is.
guy
You know what it
just
is with
loves
Bruno,
just
yeah?
kicking out, bro.
You know
There's
when
no
you
other way
describe-
to describe
But I
him
need
other than TV.
I need to counter that slightly, because how poor United were going forward, like, it has to be considered how good the defensive shape of Liverpool was, and the fact that all of your goal scoring opportunities that have come this season have come through counters. Go look at the Brighton game and go look at the Fulham game. All of those offside goals that you scored, those are all counterattacks. Not once against Liverpool did you have an odd man rush going down the field. Every time you were outnumbered, right? So essentially you're being forced into rushing your play in order to try and get the counterattack going, but you're outnumbered. Therefore, it becomes 1,000 times harder in order to make the right pass. I'm not saying that they were good, but I'm also just trying to iterate that Liverpool were very good defensively in their structure, especially on the counterattack. So none of them were going to look good.
I understand what you're
well,
saying. I understand what you're saying, but bro, I've watched Bruno for like what? He came here since 2019.
He was very poor. He was very poor.
I understand that, but I swear to God, even when there is no pressure, he will do the most stupid shit I've seen in my life. Even with no pressure, by the way. So yes, against Liverpool, you have to think quickly, but Bruno has a knack of doing this for years and years and years. And the reason why he gets overlooked, is because he's a fan favorite. They will talk about Casemiro because it's very easy to talk about Casemiro. 32, he's old, he's finished. But Bruno Fernandes was equally just as bad, if not worse. And they're not talking about it.
No, that's fine. But Bruno Fernandez has been bad for a while, like 2-3 years, right? Before Ten Hag even came in. So
Then why
look,
did he give him a contract?
this
They gave him-
That's not true. That's not true.
But-
He
Extension.
creates a lot of chances. Bruno Fernandes, he was good. Ten Hag made him way worse.
Okay, making
Way-
somebody worse is fine, but I don't remember Ten Hag playing this counter-attacking style of football at Ajax.
But that's exactly, that's why I say to
No,
that's
he
why
didn't.
That's the
Which is
biggest
we don't know.
conundrum, though.
We do not
That's exactly the
No,
problem.
no,
That's why
no,
Man U
no.
fans are losing. This is why This is why
Exactly.
Man U
The
fans are
biggest-
losing their mind. Man U fans are like, when you were at Ajax, we saw what you did. We want you to come here. We will back you. Get the players that you need. Give us good football. He comes here and decides, I'm not going to play. And he did say it. Did you see the interview where he said,
he said,
I
I
can't
can't play
last
the
year.
Ajax way.
He said, I
Last
can't play
year.
the Ajax. I don't have. Yeah,
Yeah.
last year he said, I don't have the.
He doesn't have the players.
The players. Yeah, no. But then now that you're buying players, you bought 5 or 6 players this season. 5.
Yeah.
If you bought 5 players that can play the Ajax style that you had, and you take a few more from the ones that you have here right now and start building, are you telling me that by January, when you get 1 or 2 more players, you won't have enough to play the style you want? You
Anthony
will.
as well.
He's
Anthony.
he's just being stubborn, and the guy is he's a terrible manager. It's very clear.
Yeah, but because you know what it is, I remember at the start of the season, where we played Brentford and Brighton. He tried to play it and then he abandoned it completely. He's like, you know what? Now forget this.
You know what it is,
He
man? It's the
completely-
pressure. The pressure got to him, bro. The pressure got to him after those 2 games, bro.
Lost
The
Yeah, but
Ron Brett
pressure-
interview.
but that means
and
he's not
and
desperate.
since then, he's refused to play his style of play. Since then.
So
I
exactly.
wanna just the last question I want to ask about United. And God, there's over 500 people here. Let's get the likes up to 300 likes, guys. We're not even on 200 likes. Hit that like button underneath the live chat. What is next? What happens if United comes 8th again? Is that just that's it? It's Adi.
I mean, you got to sack him.
It's literally Adi, bro. You said it yourself. It's Adi.
He only has
It's
1 year
man.
contract, so of course they know that his
He
contract
has
is gonna
another
roll
year.
over.
Dyer
I mean,
has
it's
another
another
I
year.
know, but it's 1 year plus option of 1 more year. So it's
Option,
not like
yeah.
it's not like standard. Oh, boom, you have 2 years. It's supposed to end and then an option for another year, which means they can choose the right not to activate that option. So they're
No, but
smart.
I mean,
they know
if,
what they're
if they're
doing.
sitting where they're sitting in the table now around December, he's got to be sacked. October, even November.
If they are
You gotta
10th,
sack him.
December comes or 8th, the guy has
They
to
should
go.
sack him. Yeah, of course. No, I agree with
I'll
you.
be honest. I feel like
I
the-
actually have a completely different opinion.
Sure.
I think you lose to Liverpool at home 3-0 against your biggest rival in the tunnel, you're gone. You're sacked.
Yes.
But I was about to say that. Yeah, I was about to say that.
You
yeah.
don't go to the dressing room, bro. Someone takes you from your hand. Thank you so much. Pay you
'Cause
the
you know what's
money,
gonna happen
get out of the
now?
club.
You know what's going to happen now, Mo? We've got 2 fixtures now. Southampton, who's in relegation, will probably might scrape a win. We'll scrape a win and we'll win the next game, and it will be a bit stable. The fact that these guys have not sacked him yet is another red flag. That's strike 4 now. I don't know how many strikes are left.
Somebody on your board, somebody on your board needs to call Eric Ten Hag and say to him, the day you receive an alert for the balance of the money we owe you, just walk off the pitch, wherever you are, just leave. Don't like, once you just get an alert to your bank account for what we owe you.
I don't understand why they don't want. Why they don't want to sack?
You know why? I've got the answer. I've got the answer.
I don't understand.
It's because
if you ask, they tell me they don't have money. They spent over £100 million in this window. You're telling me that they didn't have 10 million to pay the guy a compensation over a year? Because you know you can pay the guy his wage.
They do. No, they do. Don't get me wrong. That's why I said that at this stage and the way they are playing, Mo, I said I agree with you. They could have paid him off. I'm saying, but at this stage, the way Manchester United is looking, the way the team is looking, the way they just look, and the outfit looks totally. If it continues this way by December, they should just let him know now that in December, if it continues this way, once you get an alert from us in your bank account, that means we fired you. We don't even just leave. Just get up and walk away. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to say one more thing, Mo. The reason why that they've not sacked him, and I was saying about the money, and now the more I'm starting to realize, is that the reason why they didn't sack him is because they were too shook of the fans. Because last season when we won the FA Cup, and I still said I want him gone, but majority of the fan base is that they were still Ten Hag in, and they were sending letters. I remember, by the way, on Twitter they were sending letters: keep their iNEOS, keep him, do not sack him. And we had managers available. We did have managers available. We interviewed managers. They literally said we interviewed. They took ages, and then they bottled it. They bottled the decision. So they can talk about finance. It might have played a part, but at the end of the day, they weren't ruthless enough to sack him. That is the reason why, because they weren't ruthless. They weren't. So
I think it's more to do.
They couldn't find a manager.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah.
I think it's more.
When you give him a year contract, we've looked around. I ain't really found something that I think that's an upgrade on him. Yeah. I think Van Nistelrooy is going to come in and get them top 4. That's how I feel about it.
I don't think so. I think they're going to be well gone by the time he takes over. That's what I think. I wanted to actually, moving on from Man United, I wanted just before we go to Salah and everything, we actually didn't get Will here after the Spurs game against Newcastle.
Yeah, so Spurs game with Newcastle. So I think the first half was Postecoglou's fault. I don't know what the starting lineup was. I think that he fixed it going into the second half by switching back to the lineup that he had during Everton, and we looked a lot better. We controlled the game more. But it was the same thing that happened the first game. Like I told you guys, this is going to happen every game this season where we will dominate another team for the majority of the time. Other than the first 20 minutes, Newcastle didn't have the ball hardly at all, nor did they even look like they were going to score, except for the 2 times that they did. And the amount of shots that they had, I think they won like 6 shots or something like that the entire game. It's simply, we will lose or draw if we don't finish our chances, or we'll win if we do. That's how this season's going to go. We had multiple opportunities to win that game outright, and we couldn't capitalize. It's as simple as, and it comes down to the fact that we needed to buy quality wingers this year, and we didn't. More than anything else, if we're going to play this offensive, this high line, then our front 3 need to be fire. And we have 1 player up there that can score.
Lack of clinicalness. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I hear you, man.
That's the way it's going to be all season, because we didn't. Well, I mean, I don't know. Solanke's injured. He's played 1 game.
But you don't think he could score goals for you?
We'll have to see.
Fair enough.
I think he's miles better than Richarlison is, right? But when you have to, I mean, look at Kulusevski. I don't know what he was doing. Like, he played striker once in preseason, and I think they scored a couple of goals against some nobody team. But he looked like he totally didn't know what he was doing up there as a striker. But when he went to the 8, immediately started playing it. That's his role. I'm telling you, he's not a winger, and he is not a striker. He is a midfielder, and he does a really good job in that 8 role on the right-hand side. Papamed Sarr was at fault for that first goal. I don't know why he didn't track that guy. Barnes, I think. Barnes scored the first goal. I don't know why.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes.
I don't know why he wasn't tracking Barnes' run into the box. He's literally standing behind Barnes outside of the box, just watching him as the two center backs are tracking players running into the box to block the cross from coming over. All I have to do is play a diagonal ball straight to the penalty spot, and Barnes is right there, completely unmarked. Have him at a star is nowhere to be found. The second goal, it was Udogi's fault, in my opinion. Completely got cooked.
Do you think you're gonna
Isak came behind.
progress or regress?
Would you not say it's Dragusin's fault on that one? Because I've heard some
No.
people say Dragusin.
Dragusin was playing on the right. He wasn't even on that side of the field.
Oh, because
Romero was pushed higher up. Udogi was on the left, marking Isaac on the. They were in the.
When the ball got passed,
Will, there was a full line that was marked with all three defenders were in line, and Dragusin was 2.5 steps behind Romero, holding him on side. So like no matter what happens after, he's not in line with Romero, Udogi, and Pedro Porro. Therefore, the play is on side. Therefore, all the other mistakes.
I guess if you want to play it that way, but I think Udogi needs to be. Udogi needs to be. Since Van der Ven's not there with his pace, right? Udogi needs to be playing a little bit more conservatively when you have two strikers, because they had two against that in that back line. He needs to be watching it. And Isaac was in between Romero and Udogi, and Romero was facing the other direction when that ball came in, right? Udogi was the one who should have been able to cut that pass off from even reaching him in the first place, and he got cooked. He got spun. Look, I don't rate Udogi. I'm probably the only Spurs fan that doesn't rate Udogi. I don't think he's garbage. Like, he's good going forward. I actually think what people say about Pedro Porro is true about Udogi. I think Pedro Porro is a far better defender than Udogi is. Far better.
You know, if you look at the stats as well, you guys look good on the eye. You dominated, but the chances you did create. I mean, I think Spurs had 20 shots to Newcastle's 9 shots. And
look at who took them.
And no, just apart from that, I mean, all I'm saying is you had 20 shots. You only had 6 on target out of the 20. They had 3 on target out of their 9. You both created 2 big chances. You missed 2 big chances, Spurs, and they did not miss any of their big chances. Like, you both only created 2 big chances. You had 6 on target out of your 20. They had 3 on target out of their 9. You know, so defensively, they had 31 more clearances than you did. 31.
Do you know why is that?
So I'm saying, like, here's the thing. Not only were they wasteful and not clinical, that's one. 2, kudos to Newcastle for being very defensive when you know Tottenham came forward with their high line. For you to make 31 clearances, right, to their 14 means that you are doing something right. The defensive numbers are far apart when it comes to
because they weren't in our box. That's why we didn't have.
I know. But then when you were in their box with your 20 shots, you only had 6 on target. 14 of them were off target.
But we know why. Because they
blew over the bar. That's why they weren't on target.
That's why
they weren't clinical.
That's why I said you're not clinical. I already said that. I mentioned that. I said the reason that happened is because you're not clinical. To take 20 shots, miss 14 of them, 6 on target, and create only 2 big chances, and then the other team has 9 shots on target, 3 of them on target, 9 shots on goal, 3 on target, and create 2 big chances and take those 2 big chances.
3 on target and 2 of them went in the back of the net.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that they took their chances because they were more clinical in front of you than you were.
But it's just not like they were creating a ton of chances. We created lots of chances.
I agree.
Those shots that are off target. Hold on. The shots that are off target weren't like they were not quality chances. They were a clear-cut chance. When Odegaard skies it over the bar from 8 yards out with no one in front of him, who's supposed to? Okay, what I'm saying is
exactly
is that we had more touches. We had something like 100 touches in their box.
Yeah, but what did you do with it is the question. Like,
that's what I'm saying. We couldn't convert them. That's my point. That's literally my point.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
we converted them and we won like what 4-0 or something like that.
If you play this way with a team,
we couldn't convert them and we lost 2-1.
If you play the same way with a team that is slightly better than Newcastle or better than Newcastle in all ramifications, you play City this way or you play Liverpool this way, they will punish you way more. They will punish you way more than what Newcastle did, not taking your chances. My thing is this high line that Tottenham likes to play is going to come back and bite them. And Ange Postecoglou needs to realize that, you know, the players that he has, barring Van der Ven, do I rate Romero? I think Romero is a good defender, but do I rate him more than Van der Ven? I think Van der Ven, for me, barring Van der Ven in that back line for Tottenham, you guys will suffer if you play that high line. You need.
If it wasn't for Romero, we would have lost that game 4-0.
No,
You
if
still
it
lost
wasn't
it.
for Dragusin. Actually,
But
that
hold
is-
on.
that
Both
is not-
Romero and Dragusin had several sliding tackles that saved last-ditch
Yeah.
efforts to keep him out of our thing.
And that's the thing.
And that is the point, Will, about Spurs. That is the point about the high line and the way you play. And Postecoglou plays a brand of football that allows the opposition to get to your area with a lot of spaces, which is not ideal. And that is why you rely on last-ditch tackles. That's why Dragusin saved tons of last-ditch tackles and Romero. These were not picked up on the stats, but if you watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. It's that last-ditch tackle that prevented the cross going to a free Ethan or a free Gordon or a free Barnes. But it's not a chance because it was caught in the last part when Dragusin is sprinting back and tackling. But that is the high line.
My point is that with the high line, right? Because that's the way that he's going to play, right? But what I'm saying is it shows, it may be risky, but it shows that the defenders are as good as they are because they're keeping a team like Newcastle, who's their counterattacking team, down to 9 shots total.
Yeah, but at the end you lost. That's what you don't understand. It took one pass, and it took one.
We lost not because our defense didn't play well. In fact, out of that whole entire squad, the defense played more. The defensive line played better than the midfield line or the forward line. We lost that game because the front line could not convert when they had 2 big chances, like Dio said. Even if they just scored the 2 big ones, right? We win 3-2. And there ware many other chances that didn't get calculated as a big chance that I think more should have scored.
I have seen this story many times. Maybe Ange Postecoglou need to adjust. If you keep missing your chance,
he totally adjusted. That's what the whole shift of the style and pattern of play, the players that were doing it, the formation and everything from the first half to the second half. The first half, they were playing around us and through us, right? In the first 20 minutes of the game, it weren't counterattacks. They were literally playing through us. He shifted the tactics, and they hardly got a sniff on the ball in the entire second half.
And they scored the winner.
So Will, can I ask you a question? Are you saying that Ange Postecoglou's style is sustainable throughout the entire 38 games of the rest of the games of the season, remaining 35 games? So you're saying if you play the way you played against Newcastle, where you guys play like the way Spurs play, because like I said, I can take off my banter goggles and be very objective about players. There's certain players in Tottenham that I rate, and I know that they're good, but with the way Ange sets you guys up against every team, this just reminds me of Arsenal from 2 seasons ago. And I'll tell you why. 2 seasons ago, gun-ho football, attack. When Granit Xhaka was here, score. By December, 50 points, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't sustainable because by the second half of the season, once teams found out that Zinchenko was inverting, we were overloading the midfield, and all we just did was attack. What did it cost? It cost Southampton. Those are the guys that took us out of the race of winning. All they needed to do was wait, counter, score. Wait, ball over the top, counter, score. So I don't think it's sustainable because I've seen it before. Now, maybe you guys have better quality players according to you that can do it better than what our players did. I'm not trying to compare player for player. I'm just saying the style of football, for me, sustainable over 35 more games. I don't think so. You
know what the issue is? I think obviously Tottenham's that game relies on them being able to be consistent scorers. Like they have to outscore the opponents and they're making sure the defense actually does.
But they don't
job.
have the problem.
The problem was
quality.
I'm getting that. The problem is they don't have the necessary quality up front, and I don't know, man. That's gonna really cost you, in my opinion.
Trevelli, the stat guy. Will, when was the last time you guys kept a clean sheet? Last week.
Like, look, you need the quality.
Like for me, like this is what's good. This is like kind of like if you're a Tottenham, I might worry about top 4 because if you can't get the goal that you need, right, or like it maybe you can't score, but then the other team somehow out of nowhere, like what Leicester did to you guys, hit you on the break to get like a 1-1 or like a 1-0 against you, and the game ends. Like. You're consistently dropping points at that point. So
what I'm saying, that's why I was really disappointed that we didn't buy. So I don't know why that the recruitment team thought that the striker was that they spent 65 million on a striker to fill that role. I think that in this system, the wingers are far more important. And that's because if you go and you watch Celtic in the year that they won their little thing or whatever, with the double or whatever it was that they won,
Yes.
you have the wingers were the two people that were most important in that system. Yeah, the striker in that season had 30-something plus goals, but that's not because the striker was amazing. He was some tiny little, Japanese guy that could barely see over the back line, but he got 30 goals because what they would do is the wingers would come in, push in, play a diagonal ball back to the penalty spot or play one on the floor, and they were finding the striker. We're not finding our striker, right? There's a miscommunications. There's time. Brendan Johnson goes down, plays the ball across. Son's at the penalty line. Son makes a run into the box. They play the ball back. Like they're not finding each other in the box the way that they should be for this system to be as effective as it is. For me, it's the decision making of our left wing and our right wing. I think Odegaard, I think he's looked promising. But if he's another winger that looks good, can take a man one-on-one, but can't finish, we've already got like 3 of those. We don't need another one. We
Everyone
need
knew that,
somebody.
though. But you knew that already.
At the end, what are you saying about what is your aspiration? Where do you think? Ahmed said it's not sustainable, and you're echoing what he's saying. That's why as a
No,
Chelsea
it's
fan, he's not
sustainable
worried.
because Son will get 15, 16, 17, 18 goals this season. He will keep us up there. He will keep us relevant. What I'm saying, we will not push any type of a challenge this year because we didn't sign wingers.
Challenge what?
4th, 5th for the league.
You don't think you needed a CDM? You don't think you needed a CDM?
No, not really.
You think Basuma's good enough?
Basuma, you have Bentancur, you've got Archie Gray. We have depth in that position, and for the system that we play, it's good enough. Yeah. We don't have a problem with the CDM. The CDM is not somebody. I don't know why we would need a CDM unless you're thinking he's going to play like a third defender.
No, but the way you play so gun-ho, for me, you need a better CDM. Like Basuma ain't enough if you're going to play so attacking.
But why? But our CDM pushes up anyway.
Yeah, but for me,
so like,
Basuma ain't good
how
enough.
does the CDM improve this system?
Because if you have a better CDM, like when Liverpool used to play that gun-ho football, they had the Fabinho to kind of just sit there and clip. You ain't got no one that
They don't play gung-ho football. Spurs have the ball all the time. Spurs
just don't have the quality, bro. They just don't have the quality. That's
We're not going end to end like a basketball game. In fact, the first 20 minutes it was like that, and that's what was causing us to not be settled. The way we play is we dominate the ball. We pass it around, we play the ball around, we find it, we work angles, balls come into the midfield, they come back out to the wing, they go back to the midfield, the defender's the goalkeeper, and they switch the play to the other side. We literally have the ball possessions for like 5 to 6 minutes at a time. We don't play gung-ho. We're not running up the pitch, right? We control the ball. It's when we make a mistake or we get hit on a counterattack from like the goalkeeper, from a set piece. Most of the counterattacks that we give up are from set pieces that we don't convert on. If you watch them, the majority of the ones that we get caught out on is when we have a corner kick and then they transition quickly out of the corner.
Can I ask you a question? Seriously, guys, I want to ask a question, but let me just do a couple of these super chats, okay? Dennis here is saying, evening Mo. Why do all say Klopp won only 1 Premier League titles in 9 years, but the first 3 years they were not even challenging City? I don't get the thing, but I think he means that Jurgen Klopp in the first 3 years weren't challenging. That's true. And then
did he not reach a final, by the way? I swear he reached a final, no?
We reached the Champions League final, but we also
finals, Europa League final and Champions League final.
Yeah, but we finished fourth. We finished fourth in the first time.
And I want to go back to Spurs, but yeah, thank you, Dennis, for this. I don't know, but I don't think Jurgen Klopp can be named as a Premier League legend.
Nah, he's not.
Legend for Liverpool.
He's
He's
not.
legend for Liverpool, but he's not a legend in the Premier League.
No.
Tarun here is saying the fact that Spurs had 20 shots literally means that the wingers are finding the strikers,
No,
but only 6 on target means the issue lies with the striker.
no, it doesn't. Because look at the shot map. The majority of the shots came from outside the box in the first half.
They also came from players who aren't forwards.
Exactly.
Right,
Few
you
of them
had-
came
it
from
was-
Porro.
Well, I mean, Pedro Porro can score a goal, so I don't really count him as a player that can't score.
The
but
reason why
had
you lost to
shots
Newcastle
from, like
because they got better attackers,
Matasar,
Got
you
better.
know, Tap
attackers.
Matasar can't score. You had shots from, I think Basuma had a couple whacks at it. Like, I mean, they were decent
Blue.
shots. They literally, there were several that the goalkeeper, and look, Nick Pope's not a scrub goalkeeper either. And there were a couple that he full stretch kept out of the back
He
of the
was
net.
definitely a scrub in this game. 100%.
Nick Pope?
Oh, yeah.
He had a wobbly game, yeah.
Nick
Yeah,
Pope
no,
was
yeah,
not
he didn't have
100%.
a
You
great
could tell he's
game.
not 100%.
He
Yeah.
literally had 6 saves.
Yeah, but you know Tottenham.
But
No,
did
but
you see
the way he
save?
was saving, the way he was saving,
The way he was
man,
saying, bro, he
Yeah,
gave you
yeah.
like 3
Even the
corners
goal.
in a row. Well, even the goal, well, he should have caught that or just pushed it further. But
he was doing
Okay,
this
for the
at one
goal,
point.
yes,
It's a goal.
he should have.
doing
He was
this.
and he
caught
had
out.
about two of these as well.
Yeah, it was good. Like
My
this to save
point
goals,
about
like,
I wanted to
understand.
ask a question, but let me just do this before I ask the question. Emmanuel is say Newcastle scored all 3 goals. So what Will is waffling about? Newcastle
Wow.
it wasn't an own goal.
Well,
Oh yeah, Dan Burns.
It was
scored
an
a
own
goal.
goal.
And Burns back
Yeah.
post.
It was an own goal. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, okay, so how does that change any of the other things that I said? Right, we had
Yeah,
2
but
big
you
chances
haven't-
that didn't come from Newcastle's own goal. They don't count. Own goals aren't counted in a big chance system. So everything that we had talked about up until this point is
So
completely
you
accurate.
think in this game
Bar the
you
goal.
were
The own
better
goal is
than
a freebie.
and I have a question for do you think in this game you were better than Newcastle?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't think so. I watched the game. I actually didn't think so.
How
I
could
thought
you
Newcastle-
watch the
I can
last
tell
20
you- I
minutes
can
of the
tell
first
you.
half and the whole entire second half and think that Newcastle was the better team?
I can tell you, you dominate position. Newcastle had you where they wanted. I felt Newcastle had Dan Burn and Emil Kraft at the back, which is 2 slow center backs, and they had you where they wanted.
They drop into
you
a
were
back
tr-
line of 5 and a midfield line of 4,
No,
and
no,
we
no.
still broke them down and put
They
balls in the
were
box.
defending with 11 players. Newcastle 11. Even Isak was behind the ball barking Basuma, right? That is by design. That was by
Right,
design.
and we still
Because-
broke them down and got into their box and we're putting balls across the face of goal. So how
And
are
no
we
one is
not in
there.
control?
By the way, you putting the ball across the face of goal, no one is attacking it because you didn't have a striker the whole game. And they knew that. And they were clearing the ball over and over again. Over
Yeah, so
and
if
over
they
again,
had
were
30
clearing the ball.
clearances and we had 49 touches in their box and they didn't clear it all the times. Right? We also had a huge amount of corners, right? And I think it's so funny that when Spurs create an enormous amount of chances, an enormous amount of shots, enormous amount of corners, and then it's like, oh, we didn't do
I
anything.
can't remember.
We were
I
no
can't
threat.
remember. No. You were a threat, but not as much as you. Newcastle chances and opportunities, and there is difference in a chance and opportunities, were much clearer than yours. The reason why, when they broke with Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes, and Isak and Joe Linton, they were 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 2-on-2. That is dangerous. That is called an opportunity for the forwards. But they had all their team at the back, well, and they wanted to do this. They wanted you to do this because they had no other choice. Newcastle couldn't open up because they didn't have the qualities at the back to defend because they were missing their starting center backs, both of them.
Right.
That
So
is
I'm
the problem.
saying starting center backs. What are you talking about?
They had Emil Kraft and Dan Burn. Botman and Shar has a red card, and Botman is injured, so they don't have others.
Dan Burn normally starts. It's usually Botman and Burn.
No, Dan Burn stopped starting. Dan Burn starts at the left back. He never starts at center back.
Yeah.
Left back. But anyway, long story short, I wanted to ask a question for you, Will. If this Spurs team continue like this, if Ange Postecoglou lose the North London Derby at home, should that go by unpunished? Because he plays good brand of football, attacking football.
Unpunished. What do you mean? Like, should we dock him pay?
No. Should like sack him, talk about sacking,
No.
being under pressure.
Why would you sack him?
Be under pressure at least? No?
No.
You don't think losing at home to your biggest rival.
We've done
is
that 2
worth
years in a
being
row.
under
What are you
pressure.
talking about?
So that's okay for you then?
No.
Bro, it's
not
Tottenham, bro.
okay.
What do you expect, man? It's Tottenham.
No. It's not okay. But it's just you lose to Arsenal, you sack the manager. Is that how it goes? Look, we've gone through how many
Put him
managers
under
we've gone through in
pressure.
the last 6 years?
Put him under pressure.
Under pressure for what?
So why should Ten Hag get sacked?
Because Ten Hag has been playing really bad for 3 whole seasons.
Yeah, and he won and he also won, and I still want him gone.
That is, by the way, that is my point. Well,
I don't care if you win a trophy or not. If a manager is coaching poorly,
I'm not bigging up Ten Hag, but what I'm saying is, even though he won a trophy, I still want him gone because he's rubbish.
2 trophies. Hey, second most successful English manager right now. 2 trophies.
The sarcasm.
No, I'm gonna tell you. Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it works. And I'm going, hear me out here, because this is very important, especially for the new fans, for the people that young. Maybe Dayo and Will know this, the older people will know this. This new brand of football, attacking, position-based football, is so protective of managers, regardless of the results. This is why someone like Vincent Kompany got relegated with Burnley and got Bayern Munich job, because he plays attractive brand of football. And that is my point, Will. That is the whole point of my question. If Ange Postecoglou, which is I rate Ange Postecoglou, I like the footprint that he's doing at Spurs. I like the way he plays.
We'll do a swap deal, by the way. We'll do a swap deal. You take Ten Hag. Yeah,
hold on. Hold on.
Hell no.
Forget Ten Hag. Ten Hag is atrocious. But I'm going to ask everyone here. If you keep playing good brand of football, position, looks like you're dominating all the time, but you lose game, you miss on your targets, like they missed on top 4 last season, right? For Aston Villa, so that's missed. If they miss on that target this season, if they lose to their London rivals at home, but they play good brand of football, is that justified to keep your manager? Or not even put them under pressure?
It depends. It depends what team.
It's not about the performance. Look, for me, my question to you guys is, and this is a serious question. If Ange Postecoglou, right, had Manchester City's squad, where would he finish in the league?
If Ange had City's squad?
Yeah, if Ange was managing City right now, playing the exact same style that he's playing right now, where do you think they would finish?
And Pep was managing Tottenham. Where do you think?
No, forget Pep.
Okay, I can answer that. I don't think he'll.
Where would they finish?
I think he'll
be first or second. First or second. I'll be honest.
First or second. Okay, so if his tactics are good enough with a good squad to get first or second, then why would we fire him for some donkey that will come in and completely set us back when we could just buy better players?
Should Arteta be sacked?
I mean, if he doesn't win
anything, Arteta has Man United. Okay, so that's the thing. If Arteta has Man United squad, do we believe he will win the league?
No.
What? Why?
No.
What, this
squad is not
even close to being as good as Arsenal's squad. What are you talking about?
No. Man City squad.
You said Man United.
You said Man City. He meant Man City. He's saying exactly what you said. He's saying exactly what you said.
I'm saying exactly what I said. Maybe I'm wrong. If he has
I don't
Man
think
City
they would.
Squad, you don't think if Pep leaves?
If Arteta had Pep's squad,
I'm actually going to change the question. I'm going to even make it more spicy. If Arteta still has this Arsenal squad and someone else takes over Man City, who do we think will win the league?
Someone else. To the quality of the players.
What do you mean quality of the players?
You don't think?
Don't fall for. Listen, there's 2 Ahmed here. You see, Ahmed, man, he's a different.
Yeah. That's an easy answer.
Listen, Ahmed tells you don't fall for
quality of the players. Right?
I watch Ahmed. I like him still. He's a troll, but I want to.
Big up to you as well, bro.
What I'm saying is why would you sack a manager?
Well?
I did.
No,
I got your
trying to make the point that the manager is.
That's not the point.
Listen, all stream, we've been talking about how Erik Ten Hag is a bad manager. The system is not good. There's a bit of quality in the Manchester United game. We've talked about how Ange Postecoglou is a good manager. If he had a better squad, he would definitely be doing very, very well. We've talked about how managers and systems work perfectly. The minute you say, if Arteta has a better squad than what he has now, which is like the City squad. No, hold on. If this is the same question you posed. If Arteta has what City has now, and Pep is not in this league. Can Arteta win the league? You said, Ahmed said no, the other manager would win. It turns to banter once you mention Arsenal. Any other team that you talk about, no, listen, here's the thing. Any other team that you talk about, yeah, it's the truth. Any other team you talk about, if we talk about, if you give this manager, I've said it before, Ange Postecoglou last season, what did I say to you, Will? I said, Ange Postecoglou's football, with the right quality of players, will put you guys challenging. Somebody who, Arsenal fans came for my head. Go and look at the insults I collected that I'm giving Tottenham praise. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you that remove the bias, remove the goggles of banter. Let's talk about the manager.
I give.
No, I'm like, let's talk about the manager.
All the time. Look,
if you listen, if you tell me that the manager, like a manager like Arteta, who has the Arsenal squad that he has with Eddie Nketiah on the bench, right? And Vieira on the bench, and injured Emil Smith-Rowe that comes in once every 2 years to shine, and the bench that was lacking was only 2 points behind Pep Guardiola last season, and you say to me, if you give this same manager Pep's team and Pep is not there, he's not going to win.
Yeah, because
what are we talking about?
I'll tell you why. Hold on. Stop talking for a second and I'll tell you why. The reason why I don't is I don't know what Arteta's system is. I don't know what he plays because he changes stuff all of the time. If you can have 3 different systems in one game, I have no idea what is the quality of the players carrying him through. I don't know what his system of play is. I know
and
what
that system was the one. No, we're talking about giving him the players. No, the point is, Rodri is better than their 6. Hold on. Their 6 is better than my 6. Rodri is better than my 6. The goalie, arguably, is better than my goalkeeper. We're saying increase the quality of the players that Arteta has and let Arteta play his style without Pep in the league. Do you think? Because here's the thing.
I don't know what Arteta's style is. Let me say this.
Will, let me say this. Without knowing what Arteta's style is, Arteta was 2 points away from Pep last season. You don't know his style, but he was only 2 points away. That style got him 2 points away from winning the league. One win, he would have won the league. So my point is, you can make excuses about his style. That is just you trying to paper over the fact that you don't want to say.
Papering over the Arteta. What style of play does he play? Arteta, does he play possession based?
It doesn't. Listen, I don't. You can.
Is he gang compressed? Like what does he do?
You figure it out.
What is Ancelotti's style of play?
You figure it out.
It doesn't.
Ancelotti's style of play is this.
Hold on. What is Ancelotti's style of play?
Ancelotti
Chain smoking cigarettes.
I scored Ancelotti.
Benitez, do something for me.
Guys, can let Will answer the question, please?
Okay, so Ancelotti plays a possession-based, right, mid-block. That's what Ancelotti plays. He does it all the time, every single game. They press from the front, they run a mid-block, and they keep the ball. They play out of the back and they keep the ball. That's his system.
I would say Arsenal
possession-based mid-block. It's exactly what Ancelotti plays.
I would say Arsenal are a possession-based. They're not as like fluid as they used to be.
Wrong. How am I wrong? Somebody in the chat that's telling me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Because nobody on the panel's told me I'm wrong so far.
No, but I'm saying
Ancelotti.
What?
You know, I don't want to say anything about Ancelotti because Ancelotti just has quality players.
I can tell you,
toss them out there and say, "Go ahead and do what you need to do."
He does have a style. He does have a style.
I can tell you exactly how Arteta plays football. Arteta simply goes through the wings, right? Plays position-based football, slow build-up, trying to isolate the wingers and have triangles created on both sides, try to reach the goals from the side. And when they lose the ball, they fall back as a compact team. Very simple football. Basic football from the 2000s. Basic football. You lose the ball, you don't press that high. He used to press high in the first two.
He learned.
He's like, I lose the ball, I go back in my shape, compact, until I get the ball back. And
that's
then
why they conceded less.
Wait, hold on. They do press high. They get more ball recoveries in the opponent's final third than their own.
No, but that's the reason.
This season, this season, this season alone, I don't think we've won just as much, and we've had the ball even more in our half with our possessions. We've had more in our half.
I'm not talking about when you're in possession. I'm talking about.
I'm saying even when we win, even when we defensive actions, because we play possession-based football, the opponent doesn't get the ball a lot of times, and by the time we get into their half and they lose the ball, we fall back compact in the mid there, and try and win the ball back. Win the first duel, win the second ball. That's the way Arsenal plays. It's
Your
no different from
defenders
how
have low.
I don't want to speak about Arsenal.
it's no
fact
different
that
from
your
how Diego
defenders, we're
Simeone.
talking about the system here. The fact that your defenders have low defensive actions, right? You guys tell me it's because they don't get the ball. It's one back higher up the pitch, and then now all of a sudden you guys don't press high.
No, we don't.
That's not possible. Their midfield and front line are having more defensive actions per game than their whole back line is, and yet they don't press high. It doesn't make sense.
In the whole of second half of last season, Arsenal abandoned the high press and literally went to be a compact team.
Do you know how many times our forward line?
That's why people said Arsenal are boring.
Do you know how many times? Do you know how many times our strikers drop into the midfield consistently throughout the entire game, just to choke up that midfield? No. Listen. I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying, as in volume-wise, strikers drop into the midfield. Yes, we know that, but because of the style that we play, volume-wise, you find out that our strikers are really more.
Show me the data to that. For that,
yeah.
Send me the data.
On
Twitter.
No,
because
go and look at. No, just go look at Kai Havertz's heat map. That's all I ask you. Just go look at his heat map for all the games he's played, and overlay all those heat maps. Look at about 5 or 6 different games. Overlay the heat maps and see exactly where his position is throughout the entire game. I'm just saying, like, go and do your homework.
Show me an average position.
Yeah, your team plays a high line. We don't play a high line like you guys. There's a big difference in how we play. And the fact that you even had to shift away from the question was simple. If Arteta has better quality players, better quality players than what he has right now, I forgot what we're debating without Pep in the league, can Arteta win the league? That's the question. If Arteta has better quality players than what he has right now, take away all the Arsenal team. Boof. Blow them to the original. Yes. Because
all of a sudden, because I don't know how Arteta would perform with those players.
His answer was, I don't know.
I don't know. You guys are squeaking through. You're getting lucky, right? Or you're getting a season with like 9+. Yes, lucky. There's a lot of games, not only last season but this season, where you could have lost them easily.
What game could you have lost this season easily?
Oh my god! They're getting ready for the Northumberland derby already.
The game.
No. You know what? We weren't going to. Can I address this, Ahmed? Can I address this real quickly? We weren't going to lose that Brighton game, and I'll tell you why. Even with 10 men, Brighton could not beat us. So go ahead and tell me how we're going to lose it. Even with 10 men, Brighton could not beat us.
So I'm not even
listen. My point exactly. They were how many blocks did we make with our 10 players? Listen to you can say what you want. With 10 men, you see, when you say, oh, even this season you've been lucky, you almost lost. Tell me in what game. You said the Brighton game. With 10 men, Brighton could not beat us. I'm not even going to address the red card issue. I'm putting it on the table. Brighton had 11 players. They had 67% possession. They camped in our half. And with 10 men, they could still not beat us. In fact, the goal that they scored it right after the red card, and things were still chaotic, and we're trying to reset ourselves. Raya pushed the ball out into the path of João Pedro, and he finised it.
Bro, they had 3 big chances in the second
half. And what happened to those 3 big chances? Why did they finish it? Yeah, if you miss it, you miss it. Whose fault is that? Is that not because defenders are coming at you? Is that not because we're not giving you enough chances?
Because the person shooting the ball blew it.
Oh, so you're saying that there was no action by Arsenal to make that person put them under any type of pressure to make them.
There was no. So Minimoto, I can't remember his name. Sorry for people that do it. So I'm just gonna say Minimoto, right? Minimoto.
How many big chances did we have? How many big chances did we have? How many big chances did we have after when we were 10 men? When we were 10 men? When we were 10 men? Will, answer the question. Will, how many big chances did Arsenal have when we were 10 men? When we were 1 man down?
I was about to say we had the better chance.
When you were 1 man down?
Yes. How many big chances did we have? Good. And they had 3. So look at this. We're 1 man down. You're 11 players. We're 10 players. You have 3. I have 2. I blow my 2. You blow your 3. And you're telling me Brighton was going to beat me, bruh.
But you don't win with 10 men. So
exactly, we didn't win with 10 men. I agree. Anyway. I agree. We didn't win. But him saying that Brighton was going to beat us,
Liverpool does. Liverpool wins with 10 men.
Go away from Liverpool.
Arsenal blowing big chances with the squad that they have is not a new thing.
Too much glazing, man.
Yeah, right. The same way you guys blew how many chances? How many big chances did you blow again against Newcastle?
2. He had 2
Good.
big chances
How
the
many?
entire game.
How many
My
shots? How
God,
many shots
what's
did you
going
take?
on, bro?
How many shots did you take? 20.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many were on target?
I don't know.
Do you think you need to change your whole forward line? Like, do you think Tottenham Ange Postecoglou deserves better? You guys
Yes,
need to
it's
back him.
literally what I
Yeah,
said.
Daniel. Yeah,
we
Daniel,
need
leave it.
2
Yeah,
new
but
wingers.
you know your
I
owner is
literally
you know your
said
owner you know your owner is not going to do it, right? So sadly, you're going to remain the same old Tottenham Hotspur.
And that is Ange
That
Postecoglou's
is what's
fault.
going to be.
How?
Waiting for to crash it.
No,
bro.
it
What's
is
going
what
on?
it's going to be. This is not me dissing. Look, the truth is, your owners are not going to back you. You don't have the wingers. You don't have the quality. Right now, Solanke is going to starve when it comes to getting balls to him. Son is on
No,
his
he
last
will not
leg.
starve
And
when
the
he comes
truth
to getting
is,
balls to him.
is
His
you
son
are
will be
not-
playing on the wing.
Okay, let's wait and see. It's three games into the season.
Okay, did you watch the Tottenham game this weekend? Did
I
you
did. I
not
watched-
see
I
the
watched-
3
I-
balls that Son put right
I-
across the face of goal with no striker there,
yeah.
nobody there, no one even on the far post?
You're just justifying my point. Nobody there, nobody on the far post.
Yeah,
The
because
players
we
don't
didn't
the
have a
quality.
striker. Kulusevski was picking his nose in the 18-yard box, right?
My point exactly. So how do you plan to sustain this all season and you're still trying
Because
to
we shouldn't be playing with Kulusevski as our striker.
But Dio, that's the point I've been making since the start, bro. It's not sustainable for them.
It's not. That's what I said.
That's the whole point, bro. The whole point is their quality of attack is not sustainable enough. Their defense
And he said it
can
was
save them.
sustainable.
Their
No.
defense.
I'm actually
system
gonna
is
counter all of
sustainable.
this. I'm gonna actually
They asked me if the
actually
system is
summarize.
sustainable.
I'm gonna
The
actually
system is
summarize it.
sustainable, but like
I'm gonna
Exactly.
I'm gonna summarize it.
Exactly.
If Sam Allardyce inherits a squad with German Defoe as a striker, and he chooses to play the long balls, hoping to win the second ball, and he keeps doing it and it's not working, and he keeps doing it and it's not working, what are we gonna call Allardyce?
fraud.
Right. So Ange Postecoglou is a fantastic manager. I have to admit that. All of us here think that Ange Postecoglou has a system that is amazing. But logically speaking, if you don't have the players to play that system, wouldn't you adjust a little bit,
No.
win the points and get the games?
No.
No. So you
No.
think if Arsenal, so Pep Guardiola changed his system when he had Erling Haaland. And once he lost Erling Haaland, he completely changed the way he plays to compensate for not having Haaland. That's what coaches are. That's why you are a football coach.
That's what
Because
intelligent. That's what intelligent coaches
Guardiola
are.
won a whole
This is-
season
this is
without a
what-
striker. What are you talking about?
Yes, but that's my point. Well, when he last season lost
changes.
Erling Haaland for 2
He doesn't change his
months,
system.
he literally changed the way they play. They weren't catering for a forward because they didn't have a forward.
Okay,
So
look, there's
they
a difference
changed the way
between
they play.
look. We changed the way we played when Kulusevski was striker. We changed the way we played from when Son was the striker. We changed the way we played, right? The patterns of play in the front line. Hold on. The high line has nothing to do with the forwards. Nothing.
You play high line, mate. High line for life. High line for life, mate.
But look, you guys are not
Listen,
making
Mike,
any
high line for
actual
life.
rational sense here.
I'm going to have
By the
Romero.
way, well,
Kid
in
noise.
my head,
Romero is going to be
in
my
my
next
head,
striker. He's going to be
well,
right in front of
in
the
my
goal.
head,
High line
I
for
am
life,
making
mate.
a lot of sense. I am gonna tell you, if I'm coaching a team, and let me give you a clear example of something that happened to me. I was coaching youngsters and had a very, very speedy winger. My whole plan was to isolate that guy with a player on the side, right? With one of the defenders. That was my whole plan. That kid who was 18 years old got injured halfway through the season. I had to change the plan to completely create chances differently because the speedy guy is not there. He is not there to cook the defenders. I had to change the approach of the game. I had to change where I'm creating the chances because the guy is not there. If you create chances and you don't have a striker and there is not putting the ball in the back of the net, that means there's something that needs to be changed. That means these chances are not being converted. There has to be another way.
But the problem is, Mo, we already know. I don't think Ange is willing to do that, bro. Ange is the type of manager that's gonna live and die by his tactics.
And I appreciate that many times. But at some point, you are a very good manager.
So wait, hold on. Let me ask you a
get
question.
Top 4.
If you have crap players on the left and the right, no matter which way you go, because Dominic Solanke got injured, Then what system do you play?
Are we saying Son?
but
Are we saying Son
I'm
is
gonna-
a scrap
I'm
player?
gonna
No.
actually
No,
tell
he's
you.
playing down the
I am
middle.
gonna tell him
Yeah,
exactly
Son's
what
up top.
No,
happened.
you
I'm
said
gonna tell him.
you said
In
left
the
and right
second
scrap.
half, I'm gonna tell you. In the second half, Brennan Johnson had 3 counter attacks, and he literally blistering speed past the defenders of Newcastle. Maybe he needs to play a little bit of a counter attack because young man's son thrives in spaces.
But we do
Brennan
play
Johnson
counterattack if
thrives
it's there. Brendan Johnson can't finish.
So
No,
Brennan
but-
Johnson-
but- Son was playing striker in the second half.
You guys
Brennan
play
Johnson
very,
striker.
you play
I love
very
it, man.
little. You play very little counter attack. Will you guys
Bro,
play a
what
lot of?
is
You
going
guys play a
on?
lot of keeping the
Really?
ball.
Most
You
of
play a lot of
listen,
keeping the ball.
that's not
You play
true.
a lot of
That is
keeping the
not
ball.
true.
And by
That's
the
not
way,
true.
again, by the way, I just remembered I saw an article that said Ange Postecoglou right now is the oldest manager in the Premier League. Maybe his style is useless. You know he's a dinosaur style.
Listen, now
You
you're-
know, so we can,
Right.
we can
Oh
just maybe.
my God,
I'm
dog.
just saying, you know.
Well, honestly speaking, you are the highest position team in the league. You know that.
Yeah, so
Highest, above Man City. So you don't play counter attack. You have the ball all
Okay.
the time.
tell me.
I want to
During
ask
the
you
Everton
something.
game,
Will.
hold on.
I wanna ask you something.
Hold on. During the
Yeah.
Everton game, where did Son's goals come from? Did they come from possession-based work-up play, or did they come from counterattacks?
You were already up, right?
No.
Were
Son's
you
goals were
already up?
bookmarked on either side. There was a goal before, a goal after, right? Where did Son's goals come from against Everton?
Yeah, but that's
Counterattack?
It came from the
Or
high
from
line. It came from the
build-up?
high line, Mike.
Well,
High line,
the
Mike.
base-
Son's goal came
Do
from
you
the
not
high
know
line.
what
Mike.
high line is, man?
Please stop playing, please.
My point about it. Will,
Answer the
is that you
question.
might-
Don't dodge it. Answer it.
I am answering the question. You might play a couple of counter attacks, but your style is based on position-based football. Is it or is it not?
Okay, we are possession-based, but that doesn't mean that we don't
That's
take
it.
counterattacks or go for counterattacks when they become available to us.
Exactly.
Right?
When did it
Remember
become
the 2
available?
long balls played into Madison during the first
They
game of the
don't-
season where he bottled
Yeah.
it, right?
Okay,
Second,
well,
same
well.
thing in Everton where he bottled it.
Yes, well.
We
there is a
play
difference between-
counterattacks.
There is a difference between I take the chance when it comes well and engineer it.
Yeah,
Allegri
we're not Ten
said
Hag.
that-
We're not going to sit back and just throw counterattacks. We're not Conte. We're not Jose Mourinho. That's not this. We've had that at Tottenham, right? We've had that. That
And
is
you
not
got
the
top
way
four
Ange
with Conte.
Postecoglou- That
And you-
didn't get us
hold
anywhere
on.
either, did it?
Can I ask you a question? If he doesn't get top 4 this season, Conte got top 4 in his first season. Which one is more successful? The one that plays beautiful football or the one that got you top 4 Champions League football?
Well, neither of them are successful because I don't base success off top 4.
But one of them is more successful than the other.
Who had
What
more
do you mean you don't-
progress?
What do you mean
Okay,
you
one
don't
of them.
base?
Okay,
Yeah,
one of them.
top
give
4
me
is not a
second, Joe.
trophy.
Yes.
Yeah, but you
one
support
of them.
Tottenham.
One
Okay.
of them is more successful than the other.
What do you mean?
Jay, I'm not
Sorry,
talking
sorry.
about the
Why do you
banter
have to
here.
say like that,
Give me
bro?
a second, guys.
Nasty.
Guys, please, give me a second. Well, one of them is more successful than the other. If someone plays beautiful football and someone gets you the results, which one is better?
I mean, we literally the season that Conte finished in the top 4 were the exact same amount of points that Postecoglou finished last year. Exact same
But that's not the point because
It
Arteta
is
got
the
more points than
points.
you are in this. You are the same.
You
You
got
are.
top 4 because Arsenal sucked.
You know,
That
Do you
season.
think? Okay, hold on,
We didn't get top
Ahmed.
4 this
Do you
season.
think?
Aston Villa
You-
didn't
okay,
count.
hold on, Ahmed. Do you
Yeah.
think Arsenal progressed last season well than the season before?
Yeah, they got better. Absolutely, they played better than they did the season before. 100%.
Are they still failures?
Did they reach success? No. They
But
played
they
better.
progressed. But
Yeah.
they progressed.
Absolutely. If you get more points, you progress. You did better than you did the year before. Simple math. 5 is
But what if
is more
if you
than
get
4.
the same? So if they get less points than last season, but they win the league this season, did they progress?
Yeah, then the whole league regress. Right?
Okay.
The competitiveness of the league depends on the whole point total of the league. Last year was one of the highest points totals, right, for the top 6 that we've seen in multiple years. Right?
You know what it is? I just wanna say
Last year
something.
was more
I just wanna
competitive than the
understand.
last
I
3
like-
years before.
I just want to say one
I
thing.
like. Go ahead, Ahmed. Go
Just,
ahead.
I think Ange is wasting his time at Tottenham, if I'm being honest, in the most respectful way possible. Like, I think with
He
Ange,
may be because our owners are
But that's what I'm saying. So the thing is, with Tottenham,
team.
I think what they need to do, is sacrifice the good football and just get a pragmatic manager who knows how to win. I mean, they tried it with Conte, and there's actually no hope if you're being honest. I'm not even trying to be rude in it, but you've tried Mourinho, you've tried Conte, you've tried the beautiful football. I feel like with Tottenham, it's like it's a circle. Like I think with them, their best time came under Pochettino, and they're not going to come back to that type of era again. So I don't know, bro. Like.
No,
It's the circle of life. They will win no trophy.
I'm taking the piss, by the way.
It is Tottenham's way.
You can't
The
sing.
circle of life. They will win no trophy.
When did this become a Tottenham versus Arsenal?
I don't know.
It's the Tottenham way. That's all I have to say.
I cannot
It's a
wait for the
Tottenham way.
preview in 2 weeks. Let me tell you, I can't wait for you two.
That was the most cringe thing that I've ever heard.
Don't worry. We'll be here. We'll be here. We'll be here.
Can I answer Ahmad's question or point, or are we just going to sit here and beat
We're going to count on them, yeah? We're going to count on them, yeah? Once they play the high line, mate.
Can you
Oh my god.
Hey, boo!
Guys, I don't want to
Hey, don't
everyone.
disrespect the
Guys,
national
I don't want to
anthem.
everyone.
Are we going to do this?
Guys,
The
I
whole
What
don't
is
show or
going
what?
on the stream? What's
Is this
going on?
Guys,
Time out.
I am gonna
Time
mute
out.
everyone, please. I'm gonna mute, guys, please. We are absolutely losing the stream here. Dio,
Exactly.
there is no reason for you to sing. There is no reason for you to sing. To be
Wait,
honest,
wait.
stop singing.
I have the talent, though.
Because Ahmed was asking. There is no time for sing here. Will answer the question, please. There is
Thank
no
you.
time
You're trying to hide my
Under-
talent.
Under Pochettino,
All right.
we had a
I'm
far
gonna do a
better,
show with you, Dio.
we had
Go
a
ahead,
far
Will.
better squad under Pochettino. Far better
Yeah,
squad.
and you should have actually won something with that team. That
100%
team,
we should have won. If we
But that's what I'm
had
saying,
if
so that-
Postecoglou had that squad, we would have won that year that we came in second and third. We probably could have won 2 of those 3 years that we challenged for the league.
maybe because I do think Poch is good in it. I do not Poch. I'm sorry. I do rate Ange, but I don't know, bro. Like with Tottenham, it's like going in a circle. They'll always play good football. They'll always play good football, but they don't have the killer instinct in the team. They don't have anyone in there yet that's gonna, like, Salah for Liverpool. Like they don't have the players. But do they even have a better attack than like West Ham? Like honestly, like they've got West Ham attackers.
Dude, the only person we have in attack is Son.
Listen, I feel we're being.
Yeah, but Newcastle's attack is better, by the way. They've got Isaac. Like they've got
Ahmed, they're being listen. I think Spurs definitely have a top 6 attack. The issue is gonna be if Son doesn't score, if Solanke doesn't score for them, who is gonna be the guy that's gonna score for you? And that is the reality they're facing.
They're too reliant on Son, by the way. That's what I'm saying.
They're too reliant on Son.
Exactly
and him.
my point.
So it's Son, and then it's probably gonna be Solanke, and then Maddison has to chip in. It's so much uniform. You got
Madison has to chip in. Madison
Brennan
hasn't chipped in yet, goal contribution wise. Needs to do better. Look, for me, if we could have pulled in, look, just even somebody like, I don't know, I would say like I don't know who's an average winger that has a decent GA, like
maybe
10 to 8 goals a season.
Anthony Gordon,
Anthony Gordon, perfect example. If we had somebody like Elanga, Anthony Gordon, either of those, Harvey Barnes, even. I mean, he doesn't really play as a winger, but if we had any of those players, we would have do far better than we do. We have literally dust on the wings. If Son's not on the wing and Solanke's injured and Son's playing down the middle, it's dusted.
You know what my issue is?
I want to move on, Ahmed, from Spurs. I want to move on from Spurs.
Okay.
We have not. I want to do this. Ikena, thank you so much. Mo is a fraud. Why, akhi? I talked about Brighton pre-red card XG of 0.8. You and the panel waffled about unimportance of XG. Now you talk about chance quality of Newcastle versus Spurs. What is the difference between XG and chance quality? I actually didn't talk about chance quality. I spoke about opportunities. When you have 2-on-2, 3-on-3, that is, for me, is an opportunity. The coach's job is to create these opportunities. It's on the players to deliver now. 2-on-2, 1-on-1, 3-on-3. It's a choice of path. That's why Bruno Fernandez, as Ahmed said, is shit, because he passes to the wrong guy when there is 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. But the coach's job is to get you to bypass the press and reach that level, my friend. Yeah. By the way, that is my point. So it's not only about XG, it is about an opportunity. You can shoot from outside the area.
If I hear somebody talk about XG one more time in the wrong way, I'm gonna
You know what,
eliminate
man?
myself.
I'm on the. I'm
I
on
actually,
the wave.
well, I actually now know what XG exactly is. It's the quality of
good.
the chance.
No,
for the
difficulty
average
of the
footballer.
chance. The average
For the
difficulty. Yeah.
for the average footballer.
Yeah.
So by the
Yes.
way, the same XG can be for the striker of Division 4 and Erling Haaland, the same chance.
That's why it's the
they have the
issue.
same XG. I just learned that.
That's
Well,
why
it's
we
a
need
flat
PXG.
number.
That's why we need PXG,
Yes.
bro. Players are
Hold
player
on.
specific XG.
Player XG is actually more accurate. Let me just do the super chat. Another fraud. Will, this is targeted. This is for
Wow.
you. Don't
The
know
actually
Arteta's style.
the hold on. The more accurate one is there's a stat called post shot XG, which literally
Oh,
shows,
I love the
for
stats.
example.
My head's killing
No,
me,
hold
man.
on. This is very important for people that want to actually use this because it comes up and shows all the
Yes.
time. Literally, XG talks about
Yes.
all the time. Post shot XG means it's the XG of the shot after it's actually taken. XG only talks about where you're taking it from, right? So you could have no one in front of you. It could be you and the goalkeeper, and you could sky it over the bar 300 yards, and it's going to have an XG of 0.72, right? Which is stupid. Post shot XG shows the quality of the shot, right? How good the striker actually hit the ball and challenged the keeper. That's the one that people should be talking about, but nobody does.
All right. Another fraud, Will. You don't know Arteta's style, but you know he presses high, flip-flopping fraud. Arteta's alternates high
How is that a
press,
flip-flop?
mid-block. Let me just finish super chat and then you can respond to the guy. I'm gonna give you the mic. It's this super chat, it's for you, right? Arteta's alternate high press, mid-block, and even deep block, depending on the game status. Stat genius. Now it's you, Will. Here's the
Okay,
super chat for you.
so how am I a flip-flop? Because I literally said he changes his system every single time and plays a completely different thing, and it makes me not know what style of play he actually plays. So if he's playing a high press, because you can't do all three of those at the same time, can you? You can't high press, mid-block, and deep block at the same time, can you?
But you
You
can
can't do
alternate.
that.
But you can alternate.
So what's
depending
his
on who you're
style?
playing. You can alternate depending on who
What the
you're
hell was
playing.
that?
Why can't you just use your normal voice, dude?
Dio,
I'm using my normal voice. Now you're making me talk like an
What
Indian now.
happened
I'm
to
not
this
liking this.
stream, bro?
You're doing this now.
What's
I'm
going
telling you that Arteta is a
Okay,
smart
so does he
manager.
play a high press, mid-block,
When
or deep block?
listen, when Mikel Arteta is playing in the low block, and then the other team is attacking the low block, the team is attacking. What Mikel Arteta is doing is waiting to counter, and then on that counter, he's going to press high again. And
I
then
thought
you
you
stay
guys
in the high
played
press.
possession-based football.
Are you all right today, Dio, bro? You're right.
I'm
man.
fine. I'm trolling Will.
You're not trolling me. You're just making a fool out of yourself.
I'm having fun. Man. All right, seriously. No, but listen, but here's the thing. Arteta, as we've all known, and this is the thing that makes me laugh. A season ago, I heard everybody say Arteta is stubborn. He only plays one way. He will not change. All of a sudden, I be like, oh, we don't know what style he plays. Let's make up
I've
our
never
minds.
said that. I've never
I
even
didn't say
heard
you.
anyone say that.
Sorry, please, Ahmed. Am I the one that is losing my mind? Have we not heard people say Arteta didn't have a plan B? Up until we played Man City and we played defensive against Man City last season,
Yeah.
everybody said
No.
Arteta did not have a. Will?
I think
Will?
that was last season.
Will,
maybe.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
last
that's
season,
what I'm
they-
saying. But this season we've only played 3 games. So what are we judging it based off of? I'm talking based off of the data that we have. So from last season, what the most people say, the whole of the up until we played Man City at home at the Etihad, everybody's statement. Go look at all the streams. Arteta is stubborn. He doesn't have a plan B. If this happens to a player now, they're in trouble. If this happens to a player, Arteta plays in only one way. He only has one style. Arteta is stubborn. And then we played defensive against City. And then everybody said, oh, they didn't go there to win. You see, they didn't play the normal way they play. And this is why they're going to lose the league. All of these excuses, you have to pick your battle. Which is it? Is Arteta stubborn and has only one style of play? Or Arteta
Why
has
do I
multiple
have to
styles
pick
of
a
play?
battle of something I've never said?
No, because you said you don't know his style. But then when you described how...
I have never said that Arteta's stubborn and doesn't change anything. I have never said that. I don't have to pick a battle aside on an argument I have never made.
You just don't know his style of play. That's pretty much. You don't know his style of play.
Right, because when the first season, when he finished 5th, it was all gung ho. Right, they were always pushing forward. They were building down the wings and basically crossing the ball into the middle every single time. Cross.
Yeah.
Then last year he was very reserved. Right, wasn't hardly pushing anywhere. Was more about controlling games. At least that's what I heard from the Arsenal fan base. And now this year he's versatile. He's doing lists. He's pressing. He's not pressing. He's mid block. He's low block. He's parking the bus. What is he doing? I don't know. I don't know what Arteta ball is.
When Arteta was asked what he plays, he simply said, we just want to dominate. We want to dominate the ball, and we want to
That's
suffer.
not a system that I know.
Listen, well, fine. Maybe he's created his own system, like Thiago Motta created his own system. New coaches are creating their own system, and people are giving them kudos for it. Just because it's not the gang press, or it's not the high press, or it's not the mid block, or it's not the low block, doesn't mean that another style cannot be created. We've seen teams. New managers, we've seen the likes of Xabi Alonso create a style that people are like, this is insane. We've seen even Thiago Motta's 2-7.
Wait. Why is that insane? Why
So
is
no,
what
no, no,
Xabi
no,
Alonso?
I'm saying it's insane in a good way. Like the manager is creating
I am moving on
Very
from this topic.
basics.
Guys,
So
I am moving on. I have to move
before
on
you
from
go,
this
before you go, I just want to
Yeah.
quick something. Apologies to anybody who takes offense with me making voices. I make cartoons for a living. It's part of the stuff that I do. I do voiceovers. I do all kinds of things when it comes to my job. So I can be Mickey Mouse now. I can be Porky Pig if I need to be, or I can be Daffy Duck fluffing succotash. So yes, it's part of my work. So apologies, no offense to anybody. I didn't mean
Literally
to,
the same
yeah,
voice.
Yeah. All right, guys.
But-
All right.
Good luck with that.
Okay, Mo, I am buying a mic. Get me on these panels. Hopefully soon, my friend. Hopefully soon. Dial Square here is saying typically we build in a 3-5-2 with an inverted left back. Hope we always
3-2-5.
sit in a
No more.
4-4-2.
No more formation of Arsenal, please.
Mid-low block, our pressing structure, guys, he's explaining his point of view. Our pressing structure is opponent dependent. Center backs go man to man. Thank you so much for explaining that, Dial Square. I think Dio explained the same exact thing, that it changes. Thank you so much. Olo here is saying, lock Dio and Will in a room for 15 minutes together. Bro, we have to move on.
I don't think Dio would
I
make
actually-
it out.
Are we going to talk about the best winger in Prem history?
Hazard,
that?
We can
leave,
do-
man. Hazard, man. What can I say?
Yeah, let's talk about it because
Mo
I want to
Salah,
know
Mohamed
what is he
Salah.
the best at. Winger,
Oh,
yes,
we need-
the best player in Premier League history. Not
I
even
didn't.
close.
I didn't say player. I said winger.
No, but Mo did.
I didn't say that. I said that is
Did
what
we
the
know
thing
at
is
the
going
beginning
on.
of the show?
Yeah.
you said
Well,
Mohamed
I
Salah.
said no. Well, I think you're misquoting me. I'm the host of the show. I
Yeah.
present the arguments that are out there. It doesn't mean they are my opinions.
I know. I'm just saying, but the topic.
Well,
Oh.
Yes, actually,
If-
guys, the topic is not he's the best winger. The topic is he is on par with Henry and the rest, like him.
Well,
Henry are. The
I'm gonna
goats
make
for
the
Premier
case.
League.
I'm going to make the case here. Okay, I'm going to make it based on winger because I don't think it's fair to say that he's the best player because I mean, just statistically speaking, he's too far away in certain categories based on where he is, based on where he's at in his career. But just to break down the basis of my argument here, Mohamed Salah currently right now is the 10th all-time leading goal scorer in Premier League history. He's 15 goals off of Thierry Henry. He most likely will surpass that this season. Currently, Mohamed Salah has 72 career assists in the Premier League. He's 2 assists off of Thierry Henry, which he will most definitely pass this season. At the end of this season, my bad. He's 8 assists off of David Beckham, which would be number 10 all time in terms of assists. I think he will also surpass that this season, which means that by the end of this season, he will be ahead of Thierry Henry in all-time leading goal scorer, and ahead of David Beckham and in the top 10 all time in terms of assists. The only counter arguments that I can hear are if you want to bring trophies into play, which is the same argument that people have in the NBA with LeBron James and Michael Jordan. But at the end of the day, LeBron James is the best basketball player to ever play in the history of the sport. And it doesn't matter how many championships he has, because we're talking about an individual basis here. I will only, like, if you want to make the argument, Ahmed, that Hazard, based on like his prime, sure. Like, if you want to talk about a 1-year stretch, who was the better player? Like, I'm happy to have that, discussion and discourse. But when it comes to a full career and the longevity and the availability and the success that he's had, and I expect him to be here for another 2-3 seasons, he could potentially hit 200 goals, which would put him 3rd all time. If Mohamed Salah goes into the top 10 of assists and surpasses 200 goals, there is no argument here. He is the best winger in the history of this league. And at the end of the season, he will be statistically ahead of Thierry Henry. And the only basis that you could have to argue against that is that Henry won more Premier Leagues. That's it. Because statistically, you can't make a single argument because he's already surpassed him.
No, but it depends how you go on, Ahmed. I'll let you go. Go on.
Because I would say, for example, my guy Hazard scored more goals. My guy, my guy Hazard, won more trophies, right? He won more personal accolades than Salah. I would also argue on the pitch.
He hasn't won more trophies. He has.
He did. He has won more. Yes. He's won more EPLs than him. What are we talking about? He's won the EPL.
No, Hazard.
Has he won
Yeah.
and has he won the Champions League?
Yes, he has won the Champions League. With Real Madrid, he won the Champions League. What are we
But he
doing?
won it.
Yeah,
with
he didn't win it with
Liverpool.
Chelsea though.
We're talking about Premier League only. Premier League only.
Even in the Premier League.
This is in
okay,
the Premier
even in
League,
the Premier League,
Habibi.
even-
Has he won it? Thierry Henry won the
No,
triple
but
with
even
Barcelona.
even in the Premier League, yeah, we can still make the argument. Yeah, we won 2 EPLs, won a couple of Carabao Cups, a couple of FA Cups, still won 2 Europa League trophies with us as well, right at the time. So he's definitely, what's it called? Yeah, won more trophies and accolades than what was it
What do
called?
you
My
mean?
guy.
More trophies. There is a difference between more trophies in numbers and weight of the trophies, by the way.
No, well, even
Number
with
one,
the
I don't
trophies,
think
he's
there
won.
is-
He's won more
He's won one.
weight of. Wait, what do you mean? He's won more EPLs than
How?
him?
Mo Salah
Yes.
won the Champions League. That by itself is worth.
Why
2
do trophies
Champions
even
Premier
come into
League.
play here? This is
Because
an individual basis.
No, because
Yeah. Trophies
it's
have
based
no
on-
play in
this
how
is
good a player
trophy,
is.
but
None.
he
This
plays a
is
major part
entire
in all
no,
trophies that he's
absolutely
won.
not. You're talking about a
What did he
team
do?
metric. You're talking about a team metric.
No,
We're
but
talking
if
about
we're
the
being- but the
greatest
problem-
player, not team.
So, Ahmed,
Okay, you know,
Not
I'll
teammate.
separate that then. Okay,
Player.
if we
Ahmed,
wanna
Ahmed,
separate
separate trophies from what a player does, and I'll explain
Okay,
why.
okay, that's
Because it
fine
takes
then.
hold on, it takes a team to win the trophy. You know that, right? It takes you working together as a team for you to get to that final and win that trophy. When we're talking about what each individual player has done in each game of their career over time and what they've been able to achieve, which is, for example, if you talk about someone like Mo Salah, you're going to talk about how many goals he has scored. You're going to talk about how many games he has won, like how many games he's been, the stats. This is what you're going to put head to head with whoever you want to compete against. You know, so you can't say trophies are the yardstick, because some people have those Champions League and did not even grace the field, but because they were on the
The
bench.
thing is, though, the
Are you
reason
going to
why
say that
I
they're
would
also
say-
better than
So what I would- no, but
you
the
know?
thing is, like, if we're being honest, yeah, I would argue, yeah, a player's impact on winning a trophy is also a part of the individual, their individual thing. Like, like for example, how important is Salah to winning a league title for Liverpool? I would say very important. Just as I would say Hazard is very important for Chelsea to win the league. So, like, the argument I'm trying to make is that at the end of the day, these guys play a pivotal factor for them to win the league. So that's why I'm trying to win.
Look, man, look. This is the way it's going to say. Any good player that plays for a team that actually wins is going to be an important player. That's such a horseshit thing to talk about.
No, but
right?
like the certain players,
if
though,
were
that
to win
just
a
are
trophy in like some weird universe,
Like, you know what I would say? For
Son
example,
would be an
like,
important player.
Let's use a US example, right? LeBron James, right? LeBron James, you could argue for the vast majority of these trophies, he's the one that's really carrying, you know, the team behind his back, right? You can make that same argument, for example, for a guy like Hazard.
He's always,
he was
he's
doing
always
that
had,
for us
he's
at
always had,
Chelsea.
he's always had like a super
So
team
like
around
at
him
Chelsea,
to
but like
stop that.
anyway, even let's remove the trophies, right? I think personal accolades, even if we go personal accolades, right? Stuff that he has won for his individuality wise. I think Hazard's won 2 PFA Players of the Year, if I'm not mistaken.
How many golden boots does Hazard have?
I don't think he has any goal.
Yeah, but
Mohamed
He
Salah
was-
should have had.
but he was
Mohamed
more-
Salah should have had. He should have had 20 assists last season if Darwin Núñez didn't have a conversion
Hey,
rate.
but
of
Hazard,
12%.
was, I think for me, Hazard in all aspects of a winger, in terms of being a creative winger, you know,
He
in terms
doesn't
of
even
being a
have the
shooting winger.
longevity, bro. Hazard is retired. He's
Hazard was
retired.
what you said EPL. Wait, you said EPL, yeah. In
I know
EPL,
that,
Yeah, but
he
even
played-
in the
he's won it
EPL,
12,
he's
he
never
won
been
it
as good as
12,
Mohamed Salah.
2019.
This is a
he was
silly
there.
argument.
No, we're not doing
So,
that, bro.
so hold on, Ahmed.
No, we're
Are
not
you
doing
Eden
saying
Hazard's not
Ahmed,
even as good as Heung-Min Son.
Huh?
What?
What?
No, okay.
Nah,
Okay,
clip
I'm
it,
not.
clip it.
I'm not. I'm not
Clip
going
it,
there.
clip it.
I'm not going there. We're talking about
man,
models.
clip that.
Listen,
Okay.
Ahmed.
Guys,
Ahmed.
guys,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually have to
You
go.
got a
chat,
dip. I
so-
got you.
Nah,
Big up
that's-
everyone, obviously. Cool.
Nah, but
I
honestly,
want- we have to have this conversation later. We have to definitely have this conversation later. But big up.
that
guys.
is the most haram opinion I've ever heard in my life.
Why? Give me one reason why Eden Hazard's better than Son.
Bro, Son's not even better than Hazard's pinky.
Okay, give me one reason why Eden Hazard's better than Son. Just one.
Okay, you want me to break it down and why he's
Yeah.
better?
One thing that's actually objective and not subjective.
Okay. He's a miles better footballer. He's a better dribbler. He's a better creator. He's a better in tight spaces. His IQ's better. The way he moves is
All
crazy.
subjective. You haven't demonstrated any of those claims to be true. Give me an objective reason why
I've
Eden
watched him
Hazard's
play.
better than Son.
I've watched him play. I've watched him
Your
play.
opinion doesn't make it true. Just because you think Eden Hazard is better than Son, that does not make it true. Give
I
me an
think we all
objective
do.
reason
Okay.
why
Eden
Hazard's
Hazard
better
can
than
carry
Son.
the team on his
Hazard?
own and go ahead and win.
Give me
the
an
game.
objective
Son,
reason.
listen, hey, I'm just
why
telling you
he's
what now.
better.
Eden Hazard has literally in a game looked at the game 0-0, picked up the ball from his half, dribbled through 5 players,
The West
went
Ham, the
on
Liverpool.
to score the goal to make sure that his team wins.
Son did the exact same thing.
Listen,
Kuznets
hold
scored.
on, hold on,
The
hold
only
on.
thing Son has
Eden
over him, by
Hazard,
the way,
Eden Hazard,
is
talent
midfoot.
for listen.
That's it, shooting.
Eden Hazard, talent for talent, is miles ahead of
Son
Son.
literally just did what you said.
Miles
when he won
ahead
the
of Son.
Puskas.
Miles ahead of
literally
Son.
just did what
You
you
cannot,
said when he
you
won the
cannot
Puskas.
listen. You cannot sit here and say because Son plays for you and you rate Son.
Has
I
nothing to
rate.
do with
Listen,
Son
I
playing
rate
for me.
Son. Eden
So-
Hazard in his prime is 10 times the player Son is.
He's
10
not.
times.
He's not.
Okay.
In
He's
prime.
not.
Okay,
10 times.
No.
okay, Will, barring finishing and shooting, yeah, because that's the only thing that Son has. In terms
Assisting,
of
scoring.
Okay, he is a
You know the
goal
things that
scorer.
matter?
First of all, his role at Tottenham, yeah, is to score goals, right? Hazard's role at Chelsea, he was the system. He was. You couldn't, bro. The minute you try and touch
So then why
Hazard,
didn't he score more goals?
bro, because he's not a goal scorer. That's not his role for the team. His
So
role.
then
at
why
the
didn't he
team-
get more assists?
Huh?
Why didn't he get more assists?
Bro, registering more assists. If you register more assists than
If the
another
system,
player,
look, what you just said was the system was built around him,
okay,
right? And that
okay.
he was the system,
He was
and that
the
his
system.
role was to play and set it up for the team. Then
Yeah.
why doesn't he have more assists or more goals?
He does
He's not a
assists.
goal scorer.
He does
But he's
have
not an
assists.
assister either. Then what is
He
he?
does have assists.
A
He does
flashy
have
dribbler?
assists.
Woohoo! He can go join
he
the
does have
F2 because
assists.
that means shit in football, bro.
He does have assists. What are you talking about?
How many
He has a
assists
lot
does
of
he have, bro?
Okay, you know what? I don't know why we're using the numbers argument here, but anyway.
Because that's objective. That's fact. It takes your opinion out of it. Your
Yeah,
opinion
well-
doesn't matter. Reality matters. And in reality, Heung-min Son has had more goals and assists than Eden Hazard could even dream about getting. The only person who's done that more consistently than him is Mohamed Salah. And that is a fact. That's why he is.
All right, so let's
supposed
let's
to be-
read their stats out because you guys, since you like stats, let's read the stats out here. Heung-min Son, 225 starts, 178 sub appearances, goals 87 goals, assists 45, penalty scored 1. Eden Hazard in his time, games 245.
Wait.
Hold on,
Son has
hold on.
122 goals in the league. What are you talking about, bro? Get a new stat site.
Listen. I'm reading what they wrote. I'm not the one that wrote it. So if you want to be upset, go and be upset with One Football. I'm not the one that wrote it.
No,
Goals,
he's right. I'm
85.
looking at the Premier League website right now. He's got 122 goals on the
In
Premier
all,
League.
in all seasons, well, I'm saying I'm reading off
Get a
one.
new
Like this is,
website.
I'm pulling from One Football. That's why I look at the app that I look at, and that's
Well, you
what they
need a
have.
new
Maybe-
app.
Maybe
My
they need to update it. But my point is, let's look at what they've also.
No,
Okay,
let
at
me
least
read the
Eden Hazard.
stats again because let me
Eden
read the
Hazard is
stats.
85 goals,
Hold on.
goals 85 and 54 assists.
No. Hold
No,
on.
he has 70 plus assists almost.
I'm
Hold on.
gonna
Let me even
choose
pull
this.
this one up on here.
Guys, forget what you guys are saying. Hold on. Let me read the stats that are
Oh my
correct. Okay? And I don't want to just this stat to prove
62.
a point. Stats. Hold on, guys. Can I just Eden Hazard played for Chelsea 352 games, had 110 goals and 85 assists. Heung-min Son played 411 times for Spurs, right?
That's not in the Prem now.
And he had but by the way, when you play in the Prem team, it counts to an L competition because you represent, like Mohamed Salah won the Champions League. That
No, it doesn't.
increases no, it does. Well, I'm gonna tell you how. When you win a treble, for example, for your team while you play in the Prem, it counts to your stature in the Premier League. Well, that counts. That's how it works. But the stats doesn't only count in the Premier League. When you play for Liverpool and you win the Champions League for Liverpool, that actually emphasizes how good you are for Liverpool, a team in the Premier League. That's how I interpret it. But I'm gonna move on from the stats. I actually want to go to Mohamed Salah. I know that people want to talk about Son and Hazard. I think Son is very effective, but Eden Hazard can carry a team on his own, and he did it with Chelsea. That's what I believe, to be honest. But also,
wait, hold on.
Hazard.
Hold on.
If I do the
441
caveat, you will
starts
hear
in
it.
Son's whole career, and Hazard's had 446, not 441 in the Prem.
No.
Oh my
Heung-min
God.
Son
Matches played.
for Tottenham. No. For
He hasn't played
Tottenham
400
Hotspur,
games for Tottenham.
He did 411 games.
Okay,
I'm
can I just
looking
say?
at it.
No.
And I want to move on. Well, go to Transfer Market. It's actually there. Like, go to Transfer
I'm just
Market.
going to say one thing.
You don't have to go to Transmark. I'm looking at it right now on FB.
Wait, hold on. Listen, I'm sorry, but When it comes, if you want to do,
I want to
the
move on
whole-
from the numbers thing. To be honest,
Yeah,
Let's just
which is perfectly fine. But if you're gonna add everything, all competitions, Mo is ahead of Hazard by over 100 goals.
That's why
I don't think Mohamed Salah and Hazard are just a conversation.
Yeah, I know. And when it comes to Thierry
For
Henry,
by the way, for one reason, my friend, and that reason is the people that don't talk about. When you come to the Premier League in your first season, and your manager didn't even want you, you were his second choice. That means the plan is not built for you, and you break the historical records for the Premier League, playing at the right winger when you're not a striker. That by itself is a different.
Okay, Mo, can I ask you a question? You know, when
Yes.
Haaland came into the season in his first year and he broke the record, would you put him ahead of strikers like Aguero, Rooney? Would you put him ahead of them because he broke the record?
he will be ahead of them in 2 years.
No. But
As
I'm
a
just saying.
striker.
I'm just asking him that question.
As a number 9, yes. If I choose if you ask me who would you choose for your team, I will choose Aguero.
But who do you think is like the better player? Like when it comes to putting them in terms of
It depends. If you ask me for this Pep system and the team that played the treble, I would of course choose Haaland. What are you talking about? The whole team is catered for this guy to score. He is in a position to score all the time.
So over
That
players
is a
like
skill.
Drogba, Van Persie, like over them, yeah, over Drogba, Van
They're
Persie.
different. They are no. For that team of Pep Guardiola,
Yeah, I
of course
understand
choose
that, yeah.
Haaland. Do you get my point? Van
Yeah.
Persie would not camp in the box like Haaland to score goals. He wouldn't.
No, he
Aguero
won't.
didn't do that. That is the point that people need to understand. Like it's
All I'm saying, yeah, when it comes to look,
I
I'm
know
gonna
when
say,
you
man,
talk about footballers,
Yeah.
but Erling Haaland is a better striker than all of these guys.
He's more
That's
of a
a
pure
number
9.
9.
Yeah. He's more of an
That's
out-and-out
it.
number.
More of a poacher in the box. Simple. It's a simple thing. Is he better than R9? Is he better than Van Persie? Is he better even than Berbatov? Not even
that's why-
close.
But that's why when you're judging players, yeah, yes, stats can be important, but it depends how you look at it. Like, there's more to it than just numbers. Like, for example, you want to look at a player and how he affects the game. If, for example, if he doesn't get the chances, how does he affect the game if he doesn't get the goal?
But
Or
it
anything?
doesn't matter because he gets the chances.
Well,
No, but
listen,
what I'm
That's what
saying-
you're missing.
No, but what I'm saying
That's what
is,
you're
for example-
missing, Ahmed. That's what you're missing. Sometimes someone like Erling Haaland, for example, by the way, at Dortmund, he used to create his own chances, which is what people forgot. Because Pep Guardiola told this guy, I don't want you even to get involved. We're going to create the chances for you. Can you put them in the goal? Yes, sir. I'm getting 40 goals. What else do you need? Why do you need him to get involved? I'm sorry. Why? Why are you asking him if his team won a triple?
I'm not saying that Haaland needs to change his game. He's never going to change his game. That's who he is, and he's very good at what he does. But what I'm saying here is that when you watch players like, I don't know, Wayne Rooney, Aguero, Drogba, like they might have not had the same amount of G8 as like the rate as Haaland is. Is that they just added something different to the game. For example, even if they don't score, like Wayne Rooney, yeah, when you look at him in his prime, like the way he was just moving, it depends how you view it. Because with Salah, the way
Can
I
I
see
ask you something?
Mo, what
If
Ahmed,
Rooney played-
Ahmed is agreeing with you actually. What he's
There's
saying
also-
is he's actually
my
agreeing with
bad.
you, Mo. Ahmed is actually saying that all these other players like the Van Persies and all these and Aguero and co are a more complete player. They may not be an out and out better 9, like a goal poacher than Haaland,
Yeah.
but they're better. That's what he's saying. He's agreeing with you. He's not countering what you're saying.
There's
I mean,
also
am I
there's also an
Yeah.
entirely different element here that I think is getting overlooked a little bit, and the fact that Mohamed Salah has only ever played right wing. He's only ever played as a right winger for this club. Thierry Henry, for instance, has 116 starts at left winger and 334 starts as a center forward. Now, whether or not during the game his center forward position is leaning more towards one side, it still doesn't change the fact that he's not an out-and-out thoroughbred winger. When it comes to this conversation that I presented, it's about a winger. It's not about the best winger who can play a center forward, because Wayne Rooney did the same thing. Wayne Rooney would drop into the 10. He would play on the left. He'd play on the right. He'd play in the 9. Mohamed Salah in the Premier League has only ever played one position, and that's right wing.
Is he an out-and-out winger, though? Is he like an out-and-out winger, Salah?
Mohamed Salah.
I'm gonna
He's
give you
all-
one thing, Ahmed. This is why people misunderstand Mohamed Salah, because he scores a lot.
He
of
can
goals.
play wing. I understand that. But I'm just
he
saying-
only
a
plays
winger,
on the
and
right. He
I
only
am
plays on the
telling you
right.
why he's a winger, Ahmed. His positioning on the pitch is a winger. His creativity. The guy created the most chances in the league last season. That's a winger's job. That's definitely not a striker's job. You will never get a striker that creates the most chances in the league. He did. That means he's a mix between a winger and a striker. But the people that say, "Oh, Salah is not a winger," No, he is a winger because he creates abundance of chances every single season. Every single season. So he's definitely a winger.
He plays down the same lane. It has nothing to do with the chances. Mohamed Salah plays on the right side of the field. He doesn't ever flip-flop with Jota or anyone else. He never flip-flops with Trent. There is no interchanging with Mohamed Salah on the pitch. He's on the right side and he cuts inside. Mohamed Salah will go down as the best winger of all time after
Who's
this
the better
season.
winger then on the if we're talking about like who's better, like would you say Salah or Robin then? Who's a better winger?
Well, I mean,
Salah, of
Yeah.
course, it's not even.
I don't think that there's anyone who you can compare to in terms of overall career longevity statistics other than Thierry Henry.
There's only one guy, and there's
There's
only
three
one
players
guy.
in my opinion. There's three players.
Cristiano Ronaldo, guys. You guys forgot that Cristiano Ronaldo literally used to
Ballon d'Or.
used to by the way, for the people that maybe forgot, Cristiano Ronaldo used to pick the ball in Man United's half and literally dribble the whole pitch.
100%. But that's if you put a microscope on those few years. Because
he literally only spent 4 years or 5 years.
And by the way, he won a Ballon d'Or
Which is
at 23 years of age.
with
At 23.
okay, but here's the thing though. This is why I don't think it's not a valid argument, because we're talking about a career in the Premier League, right? Cristiano Ronaldo isn't even near the top 10 all-time goal scorers in the Premier League. He's not near where Mohamed Salah is.
He didn't
spend that much time.
Exactly. Because he didn't spend that much time in this league, I don't think that it's a fair argument. And like I said at the beginning, if you want to zoom in and say who had the best year, Cristiano Ronaldo had the best year. He had the best year in winger history.
I'm going to counter your argument. Cristiano Ronaldo in the Premier League, I think he won 3 Premier League titles.
Yeah.
And 1 Champions League
as well.
In the short time. In the
4
short
years.
time, Mike.
Yeah, but trophies
Sure.
have nothing to do with it. Like the
In
guy
one of
literally
the-
only had
but
34
hold
assists
on,
in the whole entire league.
Well. But during that time, he was the most efficient player in the Premier League. It wasn't about his team winning. He was winning the team, these competitions. Of course, the team is there and everything, but he
The
was
team
like
that
Gerrard
Ronaldo
or
played
Liverpool.
on was almost like the team that he played on in Real Madrid. What are you talking about?
No.
Wait, what? I don't understand. What are you trying to say?
The quality of
gonna
Man
give you-
United's squad at the time.
100%.
Again,
100%
this sounds exactly
No,
like
no.
what
Are we saying there's no quality in Liverpool right now?
I'm gonna give you names that you guys, Wes Brown, John O'Shea. Wes Brown and John O'Shea played right back. Darren Fletcher, with all due respect, Darren Fletcher.
He weren't. He's a squad player, isn't he? He was a squad player, bro. Like
Bro.
that.
Bro, squad player. Bro, he played with Fabio and what?
Rafael as well. Rafael and Fabio, the brothers.
Bro,
Cristiano Ronaldo is a
this
better
is the
player through his
squad.
whole career than Mohamed Salah is. Fact.
Say that again.
Right?
Say that
No
again.
doubt. Cristiano Ronaldo, along his whole entire career, is a better player than Mohamed Salah. Fact. Right? There's no doubt question that. Right?
Yeah.
But we're talking about their performances in the Premier League. Right? He has not done in the Premier League what Mohamed Salah's done, even if you
No,
go
he
in
did,
the
he
same
did.
amount of
He
years.
did.
He achieved more.
did.
He
He
achieved
did.
more.
He
And
did.
Statistically speaking, he hasn't. It's
No.
literally that simple.
If you're talking about individual statistics, then let's compare the amount of time that Ronaldo had and the same amount of time for Mohamed Salah. You can't take Mohamed Salah's 10 years and accumulate
don't
extra
have
6
to
years
take
of
all
him. No,
10
hold on. I'm saying let's take Ronaldo's 4 years and then let's aggregate it over the same amount of time that Mohamed Salah spent and say, based on what Ronaldo was doing, how many more do you think he would have won?
He'll
Ronaldo
overtake it,
literally
exactly.
completed English football in 4 years. Champions League,
On one of the best
Premiership,
teams ever. On one of the best teams of all time.
Listen,
This is what, Mike, this is
we can-
when we are. Sorry, Dayo. I need to add this caveat, Dayo. This is where we are wrong. That team wasn't the best in the Premier League, but Ronaldo made it the best. That is the difference. Ronaldo, these people forget that Ronaldo was the difference maker. I am telling you, that team doesn't win the Champions League, doesn't win the Premier League if Ronaldo's not there.
Bro, the guy
And
scored a
flat out.
header in the final as well. So like,
Didn't they win?
No,
the
I'm just saying-
Champions League
I'm
and as
I'm
well?
just saying this right now. If you take Mohamed Salah's first 5 years and you put those up against Cristiano Ronaldo's 5 years in the league, Mohamed Salah still scores almost 30 more goals and 12 more assists than Cristiano Ronaldo did.
That is on the individual performance, and like we
Exactly,
said,
which is what we're talking
That's what we're talking about.
And listen,
This is an individual argument.
And I said, based on individual performances, right? You can aggregate right now and say, okay, based Mohamed Salah, how old was he when he really started kicking off?
26,
26,
25,
27,
26,
yeah.
right? How old was Ronaldo
young
when
as hell.
Ronaldo was bought when he was 18.
18.
Bro.
Yeah.
But again, I'm also not gonna like you can't just sit there and basically say
25.
based on his averages, if I just multiplied that by 5 with 5 new seasons, all of a sudden
I'm not saying that's
theoretically
not how
he would automatically produce the same exact results because that's ridiculous. You're
Look,
saying to aggregate what he did, and if he were to stay based on the results, what would the potential hypothesis, like the potential result be if he had stayed there? We can't go back in time and redo that. He left for Real Madrid. Like at the end of the day, if you play 5 seasons, you're judged on those 5 seasons. If you chose to leave,
you're saying that Mohamed Salah is better in the Premier League than Cristiano Ronaldo is in the Premier League?
Over a career individually, he's statistically, objectively better. Because he will go down. If he stays here for 2 seasons, if he stays here for 2 more seasons, he could score 40 more goals, right? Which is not completely out of the question. He scores 40 more goals. He's at 200 goals all time in the Premier League. That's 25 more than Thierry Henry, who everyone says is the best winger of all time. If he gets 3 more assists, he's now ahead of Thierry Henry in assists. If he gets 10 more assists, he's ahead of David Beckham in assists. On an individual basis, he would be better. Now, if you want to make the argument that under a microscope, who had the best season of all time? Cristiano Ronaldo's Ballon d'Or will most likely get that.
So here's the question.
The thing is, people don't sit here and have the same energy for Alan Shearer. 262 goals in the Premier League. How many fucking trophies did the guy have? No one talks about
Ronaldo left
He's
United.
also in the top 20 in assists too.
Ronaldo. Listen, let me just say something. Let's say if he did stay and he never went to Madrid, I'm pretty sure when he joined Madrid, he scored more goals than he played games. He scored more goals.
This is what other people say.
So even if he stayed at United, he was.
Nobbins, we said no. We said he's not a winger. Nobbins.
He started over 100 games as a center forward. I think comparing him to Henry is ridiculous.
Can I let Ahmed finish? And then dial, please.
All I'm saying is that the 08 season that what Ronaldo did writes off anything Salah did. Anything. The 08 season alone is better than the whole of career of Salah at Liverpool. That 08 season.
Why?
That's how special Ronaldo was.
Why?
Because of what he did, because of how he was playing, because of what he achieved, because of what he contributed.
If you want to do season by season, Ronaldo will blow him out of the water for sure. I agree with you.
We're saying best winger. If you want to say who was the best player, you don't judge it on how long they've been there. It's based on the best of the best. So, for example, Thierry Henry,
it's a career thing.
Huh? Okay, so Mike, can I say this? Mike,
this is a career argument. I'm not saying who is the total overall most talented footballer to ever grace the pitch of a Premier League pitch. It's who had the best career. When you say the best player, it's the best career.
I think we can separate, Mike. I think we can separate the stats from the quality of the players as well. Let me explain what I mean by that.
Which is a different argument for sure.
Yeah, let me explain that. Ronaldo is arguably a better player than Mohamed Salah.
He is a better player. On a talent basis, Ronaldo has more talent than Mo.
Good. So now we can say, well, Mo Salah, his goal scoring 200 goals, catching up to the top 10. Those are good stats, individual accolades, individual achievements. As a winger of all time in the Premiership, if you had to pick who you thought was the best winger that has graced the Premiership, I would still rate Ronaldo's talent. Not the stats. I understand the individual accolades. You said it yourself, Michael Jordan.
It's a different argument.
You said that's why I said.
But again, that's a different argument. You're saying who is the best individual talent of all time? Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That when we're talking about this, when I hear the best winger, before I think of the stats, I'm comparing him to other wingers who have played in the Prem, and I'm like, but Ronaldo was a winger in the Prem. How can you say he's better than Ronaldo? That's where my mind goes. So now maybe we should just narrow it down and say individual statistics. Player for player, Mo Salah has better stats, goals-wise, assist-wise, than Ronaldo. That is an easier way to put it. But to say better player because of the stats,
all I'm gonna say is if we won those 2 leagues that we lost by 1 point, and Mohamed Salah had 3 Premier League titles, everyone's energy in here would be completely different because you would say he has 3 and not 1. It's that simple. Like trophies
I can use that as well with when we lost.
I'm not even using trophies, Mike. I'm not even using trophies, Mike.
I mean, this is silly.
I'm not using Mike. I'm not using trophies, Mike. Mike, I'm not even using trophies. I'm just talking based on we have eye test. We can see these players. We've seen what they've achieved. Well, remove everything and say
it's like your opinion.
No. Listen. Yeah, but we can all agree on this panel that Ronaldo is arguably a better winger.
Not all agree. That's why. Who's the better winger? player
Player.
aesthetically?
Who's the better
For
player?
you, football player, talent-wise, Mohamed Salah or Ronaldo? I want your opinion. Forget the stats.
Aesthetically,
No,
And
no, no.
talent-wise.
As a football player, talent-wise, who do you think is better football?
in
As a
the
winger?
way it's worded, you just said right now, right?
Oh.
It
No,
would
no,
be
your
Cristiano
opinion. That's
Ronaldo.
subjective. Yeah, okay, that's subjective.
It's not subjective.
the
That's
point.
objective.
Ronaldo has more talent than him. He's
No,
got
that,
800 goals.
by the way, guys, that is again, well, that is very subjective because you know what? If someone tomorrow says I like the way Mohamed Salah plays more than Cristiano Ronaldo,
Bro, forget about
it's an
Ronaldo. He's not
opinion.
even. Forget
I
about Ronaldo. He's
like
not even-
chocolate ice cream more than I like vanilla.
No, but if
If
we're talking about talent, forget about Ronaldo. He's not even more talented than Mahrez if we're going down the talent route. Honestly, if we're talking about pure football,
No,
yeah,
I asked Will a question
Which is
because
why I think
I
it's a stupid
actually
argument to
wanted
talk about talent.
guys, I asked Will a question because I wanted to know where Dio when he said we all agree. I wanted to make sure that we all agree that Ronaldo is more talented than Salah. Go ahead, Dio.
No, that's all I was saying. I was saying, like, for me, we can talk about stats. There are players that have their stats that are like stats pads. If you look at it, their stats are good. The players who have trophies and who have won things with teams that probably, you know, came
We're
off the
talking about
bench and played
achievements,
45 minutes. No, I mean, but I'm saying these are
get it,
things that are true, right? So I want to remove that's another conversation. If we're going to talk about what you've won, what your team won, that's a different conversation. Individual statistics, Mo Salah is on to be one of the greatest players to put up some of the best numbers we've ever seen in the EPL.
He will have the best wingers numbers in
yeah,
history.
Best
He
wingers,
will.
you can't take away the best winger number. If you're not talking about being the best winger of all time in the EPL history or one of the best players, I think that there are more players who are better than him, talent-wise, skill-wise, in what we've seen. They may not have the same numbers, just like you said yourself. LeBron doesn't have the number of trophies that MJ has, but you consider LeBron, hold on, talent-wise, you consider LeBron a better player than MJ. So numbers-wise, you can say maybe MJ has the trophies, you know, like he's got more rings and more whatever it is that.
But LeBron beats him in every. But the thing is that LeBron beats him in every single stat. He's the all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA.
But that's my point, though. That's my point, Mike. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, and I'm saying that we can actually separate the two and say Mo Salah is on to make some of the greatest numbers of all time, winger-wise, in the history of the EPL. Not you cannot say in that same breath, he's the best winger of all time because there are better wingers than him. There have been better wingers than him.
If you want to bring it into that conversation, I think Salah's dribbling ability gets incredibly disrespected. I think his ability to create in tight spaces gets incredibly disrespected. His ability to take on his man 1v1, incredibly disrespected.
Is he the best winger of all time in
his
the EPL
clinical
history?
nature?
Is he the best? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is he the best winger of all time in history of the EPL?
Pure winger who only plays winger.
Yes, who plays only winger compared to every other winger you've known.
He has played striker a few times, a very few.
Shall I tell you why?
He will go down as it. Yes, he will. Because he's going to spend another 2 years here.
Okay,
and to me, he has to first pass everyone in contention with that because once he gets past Thierry Henry, everyone else left on that list is a striker.
Okay, look.
So once you surpass every other winger,
Thierry Henry is not a winger, though. You keep mentioning.
I know that.
Listen, you've been mentioning Thierry so much throughout. I've been quiet about that.
Other people make the argument.
Other people make the argument because other people make that argument. That's the only person that they bring up. Everyone goes to Thierry Henry. Everyone makes that argument. I know that. I said it earlier. He only had.
Then don't bring it up if you know it. Like, what's the point of bringing up someone who we know is not a winger and using that as a compare? You can bring up other wingers.
In the context of that statement, it was because the only other people in the top 10 who even played at winger ever is Thierry Henry. Everyone else is a pure number 9.
Ronaldo played.
He's not in the top 10 of all time goals. Bro? He's not in the top 10 of all time goals.
He's not in the top 10 of anything.
Right, bro?
He's not in. Statistically, he's not in the top 10 of goals, which is what I said.
Jay, blink if you're safe.
Jay, blink if you're
good.
okay,
I'm listening.
Just blink if you're safe, brother.
What? I'm good. I'm just
blink if you need help. Blink if you need help, Jay.
Anybody can have any subjective opinion they want, but you can't prove that or convince anyone of it unless you have actual numbers. And I'm sorry, but Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't have the numbers. His 08 season wasn't even as good as Salah's 17-18 season, my man.
Okay, can I just say something to Will? Who's better, Drogba or Lukaku?
Lukaku.
Huh?
Lukaku has played longer and scored far more goals than Drogba has.
No, I can't.
Just don't even go on this. Let's just go, man. Come on.
So Lukaku
What's
is
the
a
point of
bet.
the game?
Do you believe? Do you believe a weight of the goal makes a difference? Like if someone scores a
No.
winner to get that, you don't.
No.
So you don't believe that, for example, the goal that Drogba scored against Bayern Munich to get them back in the game in the 89th minute, while
World-class
they were
goal.
about to lose. You don't think that has more weight than, for example, Lukaku scoring against Norwich City for Manchester United? With all due respect to Norwich City, you don't think that has a weight? In the
It
game,
has a
scoring
weight in the
World Cup
moment,
final.
right? It has a weight in the moment, but that goal's not worth 4 goals.
It's
Lukaku's a
not,
bet.
but you don't think that, for example, can prove that a player has better talent than another one?
The
Scoring a goal.
question was, okay, if you're asking me who was a more impactful player, Didier Drogba all day long, right? Who was a more of a clutch player? Drogba, 100%. But you're talking about who's a better player, who's a better striker in their history of their career. I'm sorry, Lukaku has done more. He's done more.
I can't do this today. No, today I can't do it.
What's the point of the game?
So
Are you,
what
are we,
I've heard
wait,
from Will,
are you a fan of freestylers or are you a fan of footballers?
Drogba's not a freestyler.
Okay.
He's not a freestyler. What are you talking about?
Then why are you discrediting a person who scored more goals and had more assists than another person who hasn't?
Because I don't look at football the way you do. That's why.
And what do you look at it as? That's what I'm asking. That's why I'm asking you the question. Are you looking at the people that actually win games?
Drogba has more assists than Lukaku. If you want to go down that route, just saying Drogba does have more in the Premiership. In the English, we're talking about the EPL here. We've been on the EPL. We were talking about more. We're not talking about their careers over every team they've gone and played for from the day one. If we want to count that, let's go and count all of Drogba's 300 goals he played. All the 300 goals he scored in Africa before they found him. We can count that.
He didn't ask me in the Prem, right?
I'm saying in the Prem.
I understand that, but you're trying to discredit something that I've said with something that I didn't say.
I'm not discrediting it. I'm just saying, like in the Prem, I just brought up that in the Prem, right? Their numbers in the Prem are very, very similar. Lukaku's played more games than Drogba has, and Lukaku has just maybe a couple 20 goals or so more than Drogba, but he's played more games than Drogba did.
Okay, playing more games doesn't mean anything, right?
No, I'm saying
it's about minutes played.
That means that at least so 121 goals to 104 goals. What's the difference in that? That's what give or take the 17 goals and 17 goals, and he's played how many more games? He's played 24 more games. You can't score 17 goals in 24 games, can't you? So Lukaku
24 games is what? How many times we're on the pitch? You can't score a goal if you're not on the pitch. Stop using game totals and start using minutes.
It says appearances here. 278 appearances for Lukaku.
Appearances mean you could have played 5 minutes at the end.
My point is,
it does matter.
But it matters for Drogba too. It matters for Drogba too because it's appearance. Drogba could have appeared in only maybe
right, and that's why you do it by minutes for both.
Okay, so maybe Drogba only played 54 because here now you want to discredit appearances.
Will, are you saying if someone scores more goals or gets more assists, that means like
what is Will saying? Yeah,
is that because I want to try and understand.
Because the point of the game is to score goals. That's literally the point of the entire game is to score goals. If you don't score goals, you don't win matches. If you don't win matches, you don't accomplish anything. Literally, the entire point of the game is for a forward or a striker to score goals. That's it.
Can I ask everyone here on the chat, on the panel just a question? Just to clarify. Who's better, Drogba or Erling Haaland?
Drogba.
Nah, I give it to Haaland.
Jay.
Haaland.
Ayo.
That's a hard one.
Bayo.
That's a hard one. Hold on. It's a hard one for me, and I'll tell you why. I think it's a hard one. I think it's a hard one because I think Erling Haaland is a phenomenal finisher when it comes to like putting the ball in the back of the net. Drogba as well is. Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
It's very hard. But
it's very difficult. It is very difficult. Like I'm looking. No, it is. Easy. It is hard because I'm telling you this.
Oh my God.
Drogba also creates sometimes, like maybe because of the way Chelsea played back then. Like when Mourinho, like they would play that whole park the boss, and then once they counter and they get in front. Oh, Didier Drogba, Erling Haaland.
Mike Dance, who's better, Erling Haaland or Didier Drogba?
The problem is that Haaland's only played in the Premier League for 3 seasons, but I think that he's without a doubt.
That's a lot of seasons, by the way. 3 seasons is a lot, by the way.
I mean, but regardless. Well, I'm sorry, two full seasons. This is the beginning of his third. But 69. Listen, 69 goals in 69 games. It's Erling Haaland. It's that simple.
Has to be, dude. Didier Drogba played in the league for like what? almost 10 years, 8 years, 7 years, and dude has scored 100 goals, man.
If you're gonna go by minute, right, rather than appearance, just to kind of go back to reiterate Mo.
Why are we going back to that?
No, dude, there's no argument. Mohamed Salah is the best.
Listen, because I just think that Mo gets so beyond disrespected, and it pisses me off to the highest umpteenth degree. Because here's the thing: Mohamed Salah has 3,000 less minutes, roughly. I just did the math roughly. I didn't round, right? He's got roughly 3,000 less minutes than Thierry Henry. He's 2 assists behind him in the Premier League, and he's 15 goals behind him in the Premier League. He probably will play less than 3,000 minutes, and he will surpass him in the same amount of minutes in the Premier League.
All right, can I ask you something? Because we keep going there. Do you think Mohamed Salah is a better player than Henry? Forget the numbers. Forget the numbers. You.
Well, I judge the game and individual based on not the eye test, but what they do.
But what's
the
point of
which is goals and assists. If you want to talk about,
I said get rid of that. Just you, as when you're watching, who would you rather have in your team, Henry or Salah?
The problem is that I probably didn't watch Henry as much as you did.
That's the problem,
bro. That's like saying
you're trying to you know the answer. You're trying to do the I get it.
I am gonna die on my hill, regardless of what you think of me, and I'm gonna say Mo because I back my boy. I don't care, right?
You know why you're having this conversation now. You're having this conversation now because Mo Salah has had a trajectory that has been on the up and up, and is having to chase a record that he's not even chasing Henry's record. He's
still in his prime.
Hear what I'm saying? He's making his own. Hold on, I'm not saying he's not in. I never said he's not in his prime. I said he's had a career that has been on an up and up. I never said he's going down. I never said I'm talking positively about him. No need to be defensive. All I'm saying is just because now we're talking about the numbers, everybody's beginning to mention Henry because he's catching up to Henry's numbers. A year ago, you would never have said, regardless of the numbers, that comparison player for player, that Mo Salah was better than Henry. Nobody in their right mind would ever say that. But just because we're looking at numbers now, we want to twist the narrative and say, well, if it's by numbers, then we can look at amateur boxers who have knocked out 60 people and say, well, you've knocked out 60 people. You're better than the heavyweight who's only knocked out 24.
No, absolutely not. Because that's a ridiculous comparison because amateurs are not WBC. That's absurd. I would never compare a UFC fighter to someone who fights in Bellator.
Okay, so let's do this then.
No one knows what you guys said, so move on from that.
Okay, let's move on from that narrative, or not yet. But my point is now that we're talking about numbers of goals, numbers of assists, it's looking similar. You want to compare the player for player and say he's better. No, you can say maybe because Salah has played in the Liverpool team that has allowed him score those type of numbers, and Henry carried an Arsenal team in his time where he created those numbers for himself. You can make that argument based off of what it is. No, when I mean carry, when I mean carry, hold on.
Dio, this question that was asked is subjective. Who do you think? Who would you rather play? Is subjective. Which, in that case, if we're going to go on a subjective argument, my opinion and your opinion, the differences don't matter, right? The beginning argument was based on objective facts. Who has had the better career?
Okay, can I just say something real quick?
I will 100% hear anyone's argument on an individual basis to put Thierry Henry or Cristiano Ronaldo or Didier Drogba or Iron Robin or whoever.
Okay, hold on. I have to, hold on.
Is Kyrie also based on laurels? Hold on. Is it based on laurels one as well? Because we have to add that.
There is a misconception here. Thierry Henry at Arsenal did not have a better career than Mohamed Salah at Liverpool. Mohamed Salah won 1 league title and a Champions League. Thierry Henry won 2 league titles and 1 cup.
Okay.
Or 2 cups for them. For me, I think Thierry Henry is the better player. I watched Thierry Henry literally tear opponents apart.
Which is fine. No issue with that.
He is the one that got me to actually watch the Premier League. It was ridiculous to watch the guy. Individually, by the way.
Yeah.
but he didn't carry the Arsenal team because they were phenomenal. Ljungberg, Robert
I'm not
Perez,
saying they were not phenomenal.
Patrick
When I mean
Vieira,
carried, when I mean
they-
carried, when I mean
and they
carried,
were-
you didn't let me explain.
Dennis
You don't-
Bergkamp was as good as him.
I'm not saying he wasn't, but I have sat down and watched interviews with Dennis Bergkamp. I've watched interviews of Vieira where they've said we would be in the game and Thierry would tell me, I'm scoring now, we're winning. I'm tired. But in the 60th minute,
Yes.
and he would literally take the ball and go make it happen. That's what I meant by carry.
I
These
saw
guys,
it many
these
times.
guys
I saw it
carry.
many
They granted interviews where they mentioned this themselves. These are the Dennis Bergkamp.
I saw it, bro. I saw it. I
Exactly.
didn't need the
So-
interview.
Yeah, and Lionel Messi
literally
said
saw him.
that Christian Romero was the best defender in the world.
Yeah, I
Yep.
believe him. Then,
Yep,
like,
there you
no,
go.
listen,
I watched it.
no,
Well,
listen.
literally
There's
watched
a
Thierry
difference.
Henry
There's a difference
was
between declaring.
ridiculous.
Listen, there's a difference between declaring that somebody is the best player, or me saying a player like Dennis Bergkamp, who we all rate, sits down and says,
We don't
were
rate
in-
Messi.
listen, we were in games where it was difficult, and Henry told me, I'm going to score now. If you guys are not going to do it, just give me the ball and I will get it done. And they give him the ball, he gets it done. That's what I meant by carry. Because these players themselves said this is what he was capable of doing. That's
Are
why I
we saying
refer to the
Henry's a
word
winger,
carry.
by the way? Are we saying Henry's a
He's a
winger?
striker,
No,
he's a striker
no,
who likes to
no.
go on the left. He's a
More-
striker.
He's a center forward.
Henry played
Kane's better
in a
now,
4-4-2
4-4-2.
system with Ljungberg and Robert Perez and on the sides. You're telling me he's a
It's just
winger.
that other people
He
make
was-
that argument. Other
Nothing
people
on
online
his
make that
side.
It
argument.
was never, bro. You know why they make that the argument? Because when he went to Barcelona, they played 4-3-3 and he played as a winger. He was never a winger for Arsenal, bro. Never a winger for Arsenal, bro. This
Last
is,
thing on
he's,
that,
he's
though.
always a forward. Last thing before
Henry-
I do the super
yeah.
chat, guys. It's 2.5 hours. So yeah,
Henry has scored goals that Salah would only dream of. I can
actually,
name you
Mohamed
goals.
Salah, this is very
No.
this is wrong.
Hold on.
Bro, you just
there's-
you
hold
just
on, hold on,
disrespected
hold
the
on.
shit out of my boy.
Hold on.
He scored absolute bangers.
Hold on. But I'm saying, when I was watching Henry, the goals that Henry scored, you literally sat
He
there
flicked
and
it and
you're
then hit it like that. Yeah.
wow, you're wowed. Salah scores goals that you're gonna see. Diaz is probably gonna score. Or
Bullshit.
Saka.
Bullshit.
Saka's
So
gonna
that is-
score it.
Bullshit.
I'm telling you.
that is
I'm telling you.
completely wrong.
Henry
That's
scored
wrong.
goals that there's no one in this world has scored ever again.
In this world,
In this world, to go against Man U. Tell me another guy that's done that.
Mohamed Salah against
Nick.
Manchester City 3 years ago. Tell me another guy who
No,
dribbles through the entire
no.
City back line and scores.
I'm telling
Okay.
you, Henry
Lionel
won-
Messi will do
in
that.
that
No,
space.
but hold on, Messi. We've seen
that
I'm
before.
saying,
We've seen that
seen
before.
it.
Only there was
We've
an
seen it.
award for that.
We've seen it
Henry,
before, right?
You ain't seen
If
him.
only the Puskas Award didn't exist.
It's almost like
Yeah.
Roberto Carlos. No, see, let me ask you a question. Roberto Carlos's free kick, right? Roberto Carlos's free kick from that distance, the way he's played it. How many other players can you say in the history of football that
I
you've
saw,
seen
I
make?
saw better. I saw better.
No,
I saw
I'm not
better.
saying better. I'm not saying it's better.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo
did it from further.
I'm saying play that exact. Hear me out. Ronaldo's style of that free kick was not the exact one like Roberto Carlos's own. It's the same way Dennis Bergkamp's bended like Bergkamp is not the same.
I'm not ever taking a free
There's a big
kick.
difference. We're talking about it being unique, right? I mean, players scoring unique goals. Yes, there might be a unique goal that nobody else might be able to. They may score from the same distance. They may put their own flair and technique on it. But the point is, Salah scores a lot of goals, and not every single goal that he scores is a wow goal. Out of his 10 goals, one might be wow.
Not every.
Dude, he
Thierry
literally
Henry
won.
goal.
Exactly.
He
No,
literally won the
no, but
Puskas in 2018, my guy.
That weren't my argument. My argument was with Salah's goals. When you see him score it, you're like, okay, it's a good goal. I'm not saying he's rubbish. It's a good goal, but I could probably maybe in 2-3 weeks someone's gonna do that. With Henry, you saw goals that no one is gonna score again. I'm just
Then why didn't he
me-
win a Puskas?
oh. Give me one time that someone scored the goal that Henry scored against Manchester
Anyway,
United.
I disagree
can't.
with that notion, Jay, that he scored only goals. I've seen completely different types of goals around, and I've seen Mohamed Salah scored brilliant goals, especially in his first season.
But you've
There was
seen it before.
absolutely
That's all I'm
amazing.
saying.
But I've seen Henry as well. Let me do the super chats because some of them really need to be addressed. Thank you, everyone that super chatted. The channel appreciate you guys. We've kept you for a long time. See here, same Hazard 1 year. Bro, he was the player of the year at the age of 17 at Yale. His longevity outlasts Salah. When at his age, Salah was doing work experience. I'm going to answer this. This is ignorancy. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Salah came from an environment that did not allow him at the age of 17 to have the training that Hazard had at Belgium or in France. This is completely different. Salah came from a third world country when he had to travel by train at the age of 20 years old to actually train at his club. I can't compare. Tell me what Salah was doing at 17. He didn't even have the facilities to train. So I can't compare this. So that is what I'm talking. Like, this doesn't shame Salah that at 17 he was working or he was at school because he didn't have any means to train, or his family was not rich, or he was in a third world country, my man. That is, you're shaming the guy because he was poor from a poor country. I think that is crazy, bro. That is crazy. The way Salah did it in the Premier League, Hazard didn't do it. Anyway, he went to Real Madrid. JJ here is saying, so with your logic, Lampard is better than Gerrard. That is
I don't know who
your
this
logic, by
directed
the
to.
way. That is Mike Das.
He's talking about statistically speaking because of the amount of goals that Lampard has scored, and I will hear that argument for sure.
It's a little
Because
bit
you're
different
talking
when you're
about
rating
because you're talking about
midfielders.
who had the better career. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's a little bit different when you're talking about midfielders, depending on what particular role they played in that midfield. For example, if someone's an 8, they're not going to score as many goals as somebody who's like a 10 or something like that, especially in the old school 10s. But
then you say career, but then you still refer back to GA goals, assist. If you refer back to that as the basis of you saying a better career, then of course Lampard.
I want to
based
ask
off of what
the
you're-
Liverpool
Guys,
fan.
Lampard
we
had a
have
better
to move on.
career.
Guys, we cannot stop at every single, like, I get this. This was targeted to Mike Das, and he said that he hears the argument, so he might actually have an
Can
argument.
I ask
for
Mike one
Lampard
question?
being
Just
better.
one question. Who do you think is the
Yes,
best centre
yes.
back in the Prem ever?
I know.
I mean, I can't speak on that because I haven't seen
But who would
a
you say?
vast majority.
In your opinion? I just want to know.
I watched all of that. I watched all of them starting from Tony Adams.
Okay, so who do you think though? I just want to.
Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, I think it's Virgil van Dijk, but I know that other people would
For
say
me,
let's say
guys,
Ferdinand or Vidic.
individually, you can
Ferdinand.
argue John Terry, you can argue Ferdinand, but I think
John Terry, even
individually,
Saul Campbell, I think.
But what I'm saying is that he said Van Dijk.
individually
Yeah.
is Virgil.
But what I'm saying is that he made the case for Salah for longevity. But when he said that Van Dijk is the best, Rio Ferdinand and John Terry had more longevity. So that's what I'm trying to understand.
Because Van Dijk came to the
So you make
Premier League
longevity
later.
for Salah, yeah. You make that case for him, but you chose Van Dijk because on pure ability or peak wise, but he doesn't have the longevity and what
No,
he
because
But
achieved.
I also
Actually,
started that.
Ahmed, just let me just actually counter that. Very simple. Peak Salah is breaking the record that stood for 20 years in your first year in the Premier League, not playing as a striker. That by itself is the peak of Mohamed Salah, and it's much better than anything that Hazard did. Just to let you know that. Just that by itself, Ahmed, you can't argue with this. As a winger, breaking the record that stood for 20 years from Alan Shearer in your first year, when the system is not built for you to score goals like Erling Haaland, right, is an achievement that Hazard cannot claim. Does that make sense? So the peak as well, it's not only longevity, bro, it's the peak as well. Mohamed Salah's peak was ridiculous. I think you forgot because you're a Man United fan.
I've seen the first season, yeah, but I still hold that 18, 19
It was ridiculous, bro, from Mohamed Salah, the first season. My man was literally, like just scoring with everything, bro. Like, come on. We can't argue that. He was scoring every game and the variety of goal, headers, left foot, bro. Come on, outside the 18,
You're most likely
inside.
right, though. John Terry is most likely better than Van Dijk. I'm not going to argue.
And it's an argument. It's an argument. Easy Tube is saying Salah, 266 appearances. Henry, 258 goals, 166 for Salah.
Minutes.
Henry, 175 minutes. Henry has more goals and assists per minute in the Premier League, guys. It's a fact.
He has 3,000 more minutes than Mo.
Okay. Per 90 minutes, Mohamed Salah has
No,
goals
per 90 is different than
27.
per minute. Per 90 is per game.
Really?
Yeah.
If you're just going to go based off
19.
minutes, Henry has 3,000 more minutes than Mo.
You
Mo
actually,
has this-
you actually
Mo
have
has
to do
this whole
math if you
season
want to
to-
do it per minute played. Right. So 90, it depends on how the site rates their total 90s. So if you're doing it from FB Ref, then the number is accurate.
I'm doing it from FB Ref.
Okay.
Yes. So Thierry Henry have 0.74, and I don't want to bore with people with that. And Mohamed Salah has 0.7. Assists, Thierry Henry is one more than Mohamed Salah, 0.31 versus 0.3. So Henry has better stats. Yes, easy tube. All of it is saying Henry will always have the streets and our hearts as Arsenal fans, yes. I think all the Premier League fans think Henry is the best in the Prem. To be honest, I think a lot of people think that as well. So I agree with you, Olu. Here, Emmanuel Santana saying he has eyes. End of argument. He's talking about Ahmed. So he watches the game.
We all
That's
have
what
eyes.
Will is
See, they're
saying.
right here.
Alhamdulillah, we have eyes. Alhamdulillah, God blessed us with eyes. So
Yeah. I have
Alhamdulillah, we
20/20
can see.
vision, actually.
Alhamdulillah. Mr. Khan is saying Arsenal ain't shit though. You may as well finish 10th. He's talking
does he
about the
support?
argument. I don't know.
No, we don't
Spurs.
talk to bottom feeders like that. But thank you for the super chat.
Mr. Khan, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I don't know who you support, but you're talking about Arsenal finished 10th. Challenge for the league twice. He's saying Hazard got robbed of an assist of the likes of Washed Higuain. Allow it, man. Yeah, Hazard also got robbed of assists from Higuain. A lot, by the way. And
Mo got robbed from Nunes 20 times last year. That's 20 more assists. He should
got
already be
robbed a whole lot
already
last
be
year by
ahead of Beckham.
Richarlison.
He should already be ahead of Beckham.
Yes. Olo, let me just finish. Zidane had terrible stats, but is an all-timer. Because Zidane was not a forward player. He was a midfielder. He wasn't even an attack.
What are you talking about? He was like an
midfielder,
8.
by the way. He was like a
No, I think
box-to-box
he's saying nothing
midfielder
like-
dictated.
Midfielder stats.
Yeah, but you don't judge a midfielder by striker forward stats.
No, but you judge him by like assist and stuff, don't you?
No, not for
No,
an
you
8.
don't. No.
For an 8.
No.
Now, back then.
Key
No.
passes.
Nowadays,
key
back
passes,
then, no.
Key passes, winning the
Shot
ball,
creating actions,
possession
probably.
won, possession lost.
Zidane is an all-timer, guys. So yes, Olo, I get your point. When it comes to finals, one man to call is Didier Drogba. My man was ridiculous in finals. To be honest,
Just
he was
that is the best header scored in a final ever.
yeah. Ikena saying to avoid comparing totals, use GA per 90 minutes. That's what I just used, my
Yeah.
friend. Appreciate you so much. And Henry is above everyone. Even if you want to use stats, use total GA. Player has to be more games always win. Use comparable per 90 minute stats. We literally did this. And goals and assists, Thierry Henry is
0.05.
by the way, is more 1.05 versus Mohamed Salah is less than 1. So Thierry Henry is better.
0.98. But Mohamed
yeah.
Salah
Move
still has 5 games that he can play before he ties in the number of minutes.
Yeah, but we're talking about right now, right? Today.
Yeah,
The
today.
conversation today.
Henry is a
So
little bit
Henry
better.
is better.
Yes.
Let's leave it as that.
Yes. Damn, Mike, what have you done? That's Mike. I love Mike.
I'm delusional. I don't give a
Backs-
shit. Like
he
I'm
backs-
gonna say my opinion. Like if you
he backs his guy and sticks by it. Will has the Guinness record for most bad takes. That's what
I have the Guinness Book of World Records for the most factual takes. Because I don't
Okay.
placate my feelings. I stick with the data. So you can berate that all you want, but I don't make it up. It's happened in reality. I'm not Delulu.
Yeah. Mookie here is saying from Salah versus Henry to Lukaku better than Drogba. I think Salah versus Henry is very interesting, by the way.
Didn't say that he was a better footballer. I'm talking
For
about
me,
who is
two
done
major
more.
trophies, 2 Premier Leagues for Henry, Premier League and a Champions League for Mohamed Salah, both the talisman for their team. It's a conversation. It's a conversation. I think if Salah wins another Premier League in his time, there will be a big conversation, by the way.
It's a big conversation in the Premier League, but across the entire career, that's a
No,
different story.
Thierry Henry won a triple.
I know that's something across their career. Like you don't even compare the.
And
both of
also,
them.
he won a
In the
World
Premiership-
Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
He won a
So
World
across
Cup.
their career,
And
you
he
can-
won the Euros in 2000. So yes,
my argument is only for the
it's
Premier
not
League.
comparable.
Oh, no, I
My
hear you.
argument is only for the
No.
Premier
See,
League.
Mike, I hear you. That's why I said for the Premier League, we can talk about the stats and say Salah has caught up to Henry's stats. Salah probably go to better those stats. Is Salah a better player than Henry? For me, he's not a better player.
Outside of the Prem, no.
That's it. But outside of the Prem as well, boom.
Yeah.
We know who the king is.
The case say Drogba is a big game player. That's the X factor. I agree with this, by the way. Big game players don't come often. Pirlo, Zidane, big game players. You're literally in the big game. You are the man, the go-to guy. And that's one of the things that people talk about Erling Haaland sometimes. But yes, DK, that's exactly true. Haaland 41 goals in 39 Champions League games. Drogba 44 in 92. That speaks for itself, to be honest. But also the
But
team.
Haaland also doesn't score in finals. He doesn't score in finals.
I just also have to say, too, that when it comes from open play, he may not have the most, but 119 of 122 goals in the league for Heung-min Son have all come from open play, no pens.
Top stat. The problem
Why do we have Heung-min Son in this conversation again? Like
You
why
need to.
are we
We try to
mentioning
push the Tottenham players
like
so
why are
hard.
we why are we
It's not a
why is
conversation.
this conversation?
Because you need to. He's not the best, but he's
Let me,
definitely in the
I need to finish this super
conversation
chat,
as
guys,
the top
because we
5 wingers
actually,
of all time Premier League. Easy.
this show is
Easy.
impossible to be 3 hours. It is impossible to be 3 hours. Literally, it is impossible to be 3 hours. Mookie here is saying Salah is the best winger in Premier League all time. In my book, Thierry Henry is a striker. Have a good night. And if you all, I'm super late with work because of this. Thank you, Mookie, for the super chat. Appreciate you, Habibi. Thank you so much. Tarun is saying Pushkash Award started in 2009. That's
That is
why
correct.
Thierry Henry haven't won one. Yes.
That's
So
correct.
thank you so
I
much.
realized that
Tarun.
after the fact.
Yes. Thank you, Will. Professor Hamza, Arsenal fan. Rank these cuisines. What is
Indian,
Chinese?
Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Mexican, and English.
And
No,
Terry Henry did
Egyptian.
play after
Egyptian.
2009, just for people to you know.
Yeah, but
Egyptian,
the goal we're talking about for the
Indian.
podcast award
Can I answer
done
the
before
guy?
2009.
Can I answer
That's what
super
we're saying.
chatter? For me,
Just saying.
Egyptian, Indian, Japanese, Chinese, then Mexican. That is my take on it. I've tried both.
Chinese,
Like
Japanese,
Otto.
Japanese, then Mexican.
What?
I don't understand how you will not put. I don't understand how this guy did not put jollof rice in that list. Like that, how? What kind of disrespect
Well,
is that?
Korean food's better than all of them.
That's a dish.
Don't listen.
not
That
a
statement you
cuisine.
just made now, is this kind of statement that used to cause world wars. That Korean dish is better than jollof rice.
Indian, Chinese,
Yeah.
And
Japanese,
wait,
Mexican.
You know what
where's
jollof
the,
is?
where's the mutton and rice in there? Come on, what we doing?
That's what I'm saying.
there?
You don't know what jollof is. Don't start. Don't you people should
Listen,
not.
Japanese is at the
crazy.
top of that list. It's not even a debate.
No, Koreans, but way better
Japanese.
than
No.
Japanese.
100% no, but yes. Okay, we're not about to start debate
Yeah, I
about
know.
food. Even Drogba and Rooney confirmed it's TT.
I got some
I don't
stats.
think anybody argue. I don't think anybody argued that Thierry Henry is the best player in the Premier League history. But listen, people, this was a ridiculous show. It's a 2 hour, 45 minutes. I never thought this would go this long. All the guys' channel is in the description. Jay is a new addition to the channel. I appreciate you, Jay, for being here. His channel is in the description as well. Mike Das is here as well. Banter on the Pitch. Dio actually put content on his channel, so go and support his channel. It's called Banter on the Pitch on his channel. I actually watched it. He put
Did he
content on
sing?
his
Did
channel.
he sing?
Woo!
Is
Oh
he
yeah,
singing
by the way, I'm going to start doing like a sing along on after the games. So I'm going to start writing mockery songs for all
Hey,
the
did
teams.
you put
like
that
Tottenham.
TikTok
Are
up?
you going to
one
start
that
singing
We
Kai
have
Havertz?
to
on
end the
wing?
show.
Did you put that TikTok
We
up?
have to end the show. And guys, the bridge, this is going to take you to the bridge. And also AA United, Ahmed's channel is in the description. Appreciate all the super chatters. You guys are amazing. You can hit the like before you go. We can get to 400 likes. And we'll see you guys soon. And we are out of here, people.
Woo!